Oh no, not yet another G.I. Joe live stream. A Toy Kind of Mood 209. Not only has there been 17 million G.I. Joe streams just today, it's our fourth in a row. Anyway, I'm Travis Moody, your host, and welcome to the Terradrome, guys. Tony, KJ, we back in this.
We're back in this piece.
It feels good, man. Terradrome OGs up in here. Ain't nothing but a Terradrome party.
That's what's up. Yeah, this is kind of a glorified Terradrome episode, just kicking it, talking about Joe's. But we do have toy news from around the galaxy, and we do have a special guest, and he'll be with us shortly. He's running a little behind coming from work, and that's right, it's the man, Bobby B. He'll be there. And we'll talk about that review before we go tonight. Of course, he just posted, B's Battlegrounds posted a review of Heavy Duty. So go check that out after this stream tonight. And yeah, we'll be Heavy Duty in the boys, the Terradrome fam. Speaking of Terradrome, Chad Kinsler, longtime fan of the Terradrome and a Toy Kind of Mood. What's up, Chad? How you doing, man? We got G.I. Jetman. What up? Hello, Travis, Tony, KJ, and Chad.
What up?
My favorite dudes. What? So here's the thing. G.I. Joe now and forever is one of the best Instagram handles, period. Go follow that. It's at Death Valley Machine. My guy, I actually almost, your posts are so good. I was like, I'm just going to start including stuff on the show. Like, these are, you make great topics. And I was like, nah, we'll save it for a rainy day because we're going to do another episode. I think on Saturday, the poll was out and you guys were voting overwhelmingly for Saturday instead of Sunday to go over the Marvel Legends stream. And I think KJ is going to be on it. Are you going to be on? Okay, so KJ, Bobby, old school, Toy Kind of Mood on Saturday going over the Marvel stream. So we'll try to keep it light tonight. We'll keep it light. Yeah. GIJoe Walker, LFG, let's go. Judge Dredd, what's good?
Shit.
Cool. Evening, fellas. Paul, I just left the Jeffrey stream to talk Joe's with y'all. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I was watching another Joe stream. Can you guys pause yours for an hour? Yeah, that's the thing. Actually, shout out to What's on Joe Mind. They're actually on now. I mean, those guys are legends. They inspired me. They returned. They had a couple months off. So it's cool to see those guys back. I mean, the community's hot right now. We got so many good shows. Baldy, right? Did you guys check that out today? The Baldy, all Baldy stream. What'd you think of that, Tony?
I showed up to just show support and check them out. They're funny. They're hanging out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, always a good time over there at Baldy Lux Reviews. Definitely check out that episode if you haven't. Great intro, by the way.
That was awesome.
Yeah. What's baffling to me is that they had, that maybe because they didn't have Spec showed up with like 10 seconds left. But they had Punk with toys, Terry Ruin, right? The Island Viper, and Baldy. And I know I can go, but those guys can go. And somehow magically, they did a 1 hour and like 10-minute stream with those three guys. And imagine if Spec was on. I don't get it. I don't know how they did it.
No, that's all Zen. Zen will just stop that. It'll just be a hard stop.
Hard stop and leave people hanging.
I was like, have they gotten to the topic yet? And he's like, bye, my mom's done with bingo. I gotta go.
Whatever. It's crazy.
Yeah, but good stuff, fellas. So we're gonna touch upon some of the same stuff. We're just waiting for Bobby here. He'll be here hopefully in a couple minutes, but maybe there is something we can talk about real quick while we wait for him. Because we got Tony here. We got Delta 17 Customs. Bro, talk to me about like what was your inspiration like to do these? I mean, obviously these are some of the best O-ring figures or modern size figures that we got, but what was your inspiration? Did you talk to Ken and Steve, or did you just like what made you want to create these with your customs? They're badass, man, with your 112 customs.
Oh man, yeah. I just wanted to. I don't really collect, 3 3/4 inch, but their figures are so dope, and the guys are pretty cool, good friends. I met. I'm not sure if I met Steve before or after Joe Fest, but I think it was a little bit before. Well, it had to be before. Yeah, my memory sucks. But anyways, after Joe Fest, I'm like, damn, I want to see if I can create these guys. And I think when I was before Joe Fest happened, I had already made Shepard, the leader, to the extreme right, and they loved him. And before put them all out on social media, I had shown Ken. I'm like, hey, is it cool? Because I didn't want to, you guys are in the 3 3/4 world. I want 6-inch versions of these guys. So let me show them right away. They loved them, and Ken was like, I want to show these to Steve. We need to do a 6-inch line and everything. I said, whoa, that'd be awesome, but they're kind of hitting their stride and kicking ass with with the scale they're at now. And I'm like, you know what? If I find some fodder and I have some pieces left over, yeah. Is that the Okami or
This is the Crimson Okami, yeah.
Crimson Okami? Yeah. That's
That
gonna
was
be
dope, man.
that's gonna
Yeah.
be crazy to get some fodder for him. But yeah, after I'm finished with Delta 17, I'll go for the bad guys. But yeah, there's Rooster. I just completed him, not just the other day. What's up, Baldy? Shout out Baldy.
Yep.
And
Yep. Yep.
yeah, I just got, all I had to go on for reference was their cards on 5D Shopify, Delta 17. And
Yep.
I took some of reference from Rooster from, of course, everything that's on their website and on the shop, and what our boy Ray Murphy did at his excellent custom. Hey, what's up, Gun Bunny?
Yeah, yo, and just real quick, we're gonna
Yeah,
showcase stuff from GIJoe, Real American Hero, of course, our dude Giles. We got stuff from Stronox, we got stuff from Gun Bunny. So I wanted to make this a little more Terradrone than normal, not too crazy or
sure.
anything, but a lot of customs tonight. So stay tuned.
Yeah, and then with this, I just, they're really, I can really dig into the fodder I have from extra, classified figures to hook up this military line that Steve and Ken put together and stuff. So with well, I was lucky that I had mostly all their weapons that Steve, you know, issued them. So that was a plus. And doing his mohawk was kind of fun, dude. It's a crazy way, but yeah, man. Yes, Carlos. Canary Ann and Hit and Run. Yes, it is. Yes, it
Always messing with it.
is. I don't know what the hell
Yeah,
Canary Ann is,
yeah, yeah, not me
but
either.
yeah,
Please
he's got
explain.
pieces of Gridiron, pieces of Hasbro,
Yep.
Classified, some Marvel Legends in there, and
Hmm.
just everything I could find to hook up. Let me see if I can do the whole team. And he's the fourth one I've done. I just
And that was the
completed
last one.
Kestrel. Yeah, Kestrel not too long ago. Tried to make her like, what would I have for the females? Well, all we have is what? Cover Girl, Scarlet, and I can't do anything with
So right
Glenda.
here, he was talking about your Kestrel, basically.
Oh, Canary Ann. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. That's her. Yep, and she's got the M16 with the she's the grenade. She's the grenadier.
Yeah,
Damn,
and
I'm always saying
that's a gridiron gun, right? Because I got
grenadier.
that one, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a great. Yeah, M16 with the grenade launcher, and yeah, man, and it just fell together really neat. And I was surprised that finding a beret to fit her, because she does have a bun in her hair, and this one does too. That head is actually Sharon Carter from the three
Oh
pack of
yeah,
Shield Agent.
the 3-pack. Yeah.
Yeah, all I did was repaint her hair and fit Stalker's beret over it, and it covers some of her bun, so it really worked
Mhm.
out.
Yep. And then we got a couple more. These you did prior Preacher.
Preacher, yeah, I did Preacher before I finished Kestrel, and he has a little bit
Mhm.
of well, all his trousers are the digicamo he's got. They're all like squares, so that was a challenge, and he has more pouches on his legs than the others do, and just trying to figure out the black jacket. It's kind of like you got Grunt's arms and um, who was it? Ricondo's top, and the hardest thing was finding a do rag. But then I thought, wait a minute, GPS lot. Joe Jerk just bought some from him, and so I got two of them, and they fit him just perfect. That's
I mean,
it's actually Doc's.
that's even part of, I'm sorry, but that's even part of customizing, is just a community awareness, right? Is just being a
Oh, big,
great customizer, is and you know, you and KJ are at tops of that, knowing what's going on with the community and knowing where you can get not only materials, but knowing where you can get accessories and pieces too. You know, so it saves from the struggle.
Oh yeah, big time. And I got a big, stable of a collection of gridiron weapons, and then but they didn't have the MRAD sniper rifle. That's a Barrett MRAD rifle. So Top Fun Toys, he had one, except just the bipod won't fold down. So I'm thinking of
Mm.
getting it. Punk has one he's gonna send over where he broke his bipod, so I can have it no bipod and the bipod down. And Gung Ho's backpack really worked well for him because he carries both rifles on it. And in Gung Ho's backpack, all you need to do is paint it brown, and there's Preacher's backpack. And you can
Right
carry
now,
both
which
rifles on it.
is this the older gung ho backpack?
Older Gung Ho, older
Older
Gung
one.
Ho.
Now,
First
the
edition.
funny thing is, right? Did you notice that a lot of the newer backpacks, not all of them, they don't carry as much stuff as the old ones.
Right.
So we had a major problem with the Battle Force 2000 of how GIJoe classified looked when it first came out, but their backpacks, at least you could pack a lot more on them, in my opinion, than you
Yeah,
can now.
definitely. Definitely. So now he's got his M4 and his MRAD sniper rifle. The durag is perfect. That's Doc's head. I just painted a goatee on him.
No
And that's
kidding, you would
great.
never know that.
It's
That's amazing.
completely different.
Yeah,
Right.
that is Doc. So I think Spec said it looked like Terry Crews.
That's funny. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does a little bit.
So yeah, you could actually see Gung Ho's backpack leaning up against the brick wall.
Yup,
Yeah.
yup.
Yeah,
And
I think I'll just paint it brown because his is brown in the clamshell. But yeah, man,
Mhm.
I got the weapons as close as I could get them for what they were issued, by Steve, and he loved them,
Yep.
man. He really liked them, and
Cool.
just
We got one
yeah,
more, and then we'll say hi to we got one more to show, then we'll say hi to the community and then hi to our
sure.
guests. So we got
That's my favorite one right there. Shepherd. That's
Yeah,
Shepherd,
Shepherd.
man.
next level,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah.
Oh
thanks,
yeah.
man. Yeah, Shepherd was my first one, and as soon as Doc came out with his plate carrier with all the Molly gear on it, I'm like, whoa, Shepherd has that. And then I think one of the Range Vipers has the shotgun shells on it. Oh no, I made that. I made that. I took apart another I think it was the suspenders that Flint has, and I just lined
Mhm.
them up on the side pouch. The Range Viper is that right holster, but I put uh the shotgun shells from Flint on them and painted them the way Shepard has them. And then he's a lefty. He has a lefty with he's probably ambidextrous. He's got a pistol on his left, but he's got the gun in his right hand. But
Mhm.
and I had that he's got an automatic shotgun on his backpack, and yeah, it's a skull from Gridiron painted up red, and then they had the nods and the helmet, and I found some
Amazing.
goggles to give him, and it made Shepard my very first one. Yep, that's
You
right.
have an enemy. You have an
I'm a
enemy in
hack.
the chat.
Yeah,
Some
that's a
guy
friend
named
of me.
Toy
Oh
Optics.
my goodness.
I'm a hack, but I definitely didn't hack your logo, did I, David?
Ooh. Gotta watch what you say.
Love it. Try to say. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah, when you put them together, they look dope. So obviously, the next one's either going to be they have an army builder. Look at B. Where you at?
Well, he's here, but we'll introduce him in a second. But I
Oh
love
yeah,
how he's chatting. He's like, all right,
I
you
know,
ain't gonna
right?
let me on. I'm gonna chat. But
Oh
imagine
man,
he's gonna get into D17 now. Delta.
yeah, they're awesome, bro. They're awesome. It's just
So are you gonna do the army
exactly.
builders or are you gonna do like
Yeah, the
Leonidas?
army builder is there's the army builder, and then there's Leonidas. Leonidas is going to be tough. I was talking to Lawrence about him, and there's no figure with cargo shorts. Not that I know of, unless I go into WWE wrestlers, they might have shorts, or GPS slot might have shorts, and I could put them over maybe Kazar's legs or something and make some boots for him. So he's
Yeah,
going to
I
be a
do
little
that
bit
all the
challenging.
time. I'll use Mattel figs and Mattel base all the time. Like I did that for my rock block. Mm.
Yeah, so now I got all these four here. I can't wait to tackle Leonidas. Or I just got a head sculpt. It's gonna look really good for their infantry figures, the soldier guys for Delta, and then it's on to
Delta
the
SWAT.
bad guys. Yeah.
Time for Delta 17, Ken and Steve, to hire you to help design some of these 112, or at least put them together and give some advice. It wouldn't be a bad idea, right?
Yeah.
That's a
As
great idea.
consultant or something,
We're talking a little bit.
Cool, man.
But yeah,
All
I'm
right,
just glad Steve
Yeah.
and Ken liked them a lot. So yeah.
Yep, that's what's up. Good dude. Salute to Delta 17. Let's say what's up to some people in the chat. We showed these up. I wanted to say a personal hello. Yes, happy A Toy Kind of Mood day, because we already had an hour plus stream. Baldy and invited a couple of his buddies over there. Island Viper, some guy named Larry. And Toy Optics was supposed to be there and didn't. But either way, it's a lot of Toy Kind of Mood today. What up, action figure aficionado? Yep, salute to you, Stu Raider. Debo, what up? Thanks for being here. We appreciate you. Mr. Madgis. Hello, true believers. True believers. Excelsior. And then how you all doing? We're doing fine. We're doing good. All right, let's ask our guest how he's doing today. Let's bring him in. He's the legendary military toy critic. Let's bring him on. Bobby B. B's Battlegrounds.
Bobby,
how you doing?
what's up, brother?
I'm here. I'm late. Everything was looking so good. Went out to get out of work early, and then as traditional fashion, every time that happens, something just goes wrong, and something went wrong, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. It's like 8
all right,
degrees
Bobby,
outside,
give me 20. Give me 20. That's it.
I know what you mean, bro.
I
know what you mean.
Give us 20 push-ups on the live stream. Let's see it. No, man. Thanks for joining us, dude. Seriously.
Thanks for having me. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. This year we had the first show we did of the year, or at least the last show of last year, was you and Shark Eyes, and we both got you on twice within a couple months. So that's pretty cool. That guy Punk, he don't want to be on our show, the official shows. He'll be on like the solo album shows, but you don't want to be on the Wu-Tang show. But that's all good, It is what it is.
Yeah, you guys are eating up everybody's Tuesday tonight.
Yeah,
man, they got the Jeffries going on over at Toy Anxiety, and probably I'm on this show, but this is probably like the 8th show that I've dealt with today. Like between Baldi's, Geek Dad, Life, Toy Migos, Figure Fight Club, it's like everybody's out today because everybody wants to figs.
Yeah, that's what's up. Well, I
We're
mean,
both in the Toy Migos chat.
Yep, Toy Me. There's a lot of people on Tuesday. That's why we don't go on Tuesday. We won't make it a habit. We were gonna originally do obviously the fan stream review, and we'll get into that a little later on, but it worked out for our schedule. So I said, let's keep it, and we're gonna have a second episode this week. So it makes sense to do a Tuesday, Saturday rather than a Wednesday, Saturday. So we'll have some space in between so you don't get sick of us too much. The first thing I want to talk about though, Bobby, is I want to get your opinion on the topic last week. I know you're dying to talk about it. So here it is. No HasLab from last week. There was all those, the rumors and the leaks or whatever. I just wanted a quick thought. We're not going to do it. We did a whole show on this. It was pretty long last week. So I just wanted quick thoughts on the rumors about the probable, made to order model, and is it good for a year off? Like what? I just want to get your overall thoughts on this whole thing. Bobby, we'll go straight to you, man.
I wouldn't mind a made to order kind of situation. I think that if they could speed it up and it wasn't a year, like, hey, here's your 30 days to order this, hydrofoil, because that's what I want the most. And you got your 30 days, you don't get it, but you get it in 3 months or 6 months. I'd be all for that, opposed to waiting. I feel like the HasLabs are almost not like guaranteed wins, especially with the Engine of Vengeance or some of those goofy Star Wars ones they've picked. But I think for GIJoe, it's pretty, if they pick a good vehicle, I mean, they have all their focus groups. Obviously, that's where all that information got leaked from for all this stuff. And it wasn't news that those focus groups happened, weeks, months ago. And then it just finally just surfaced. And I don't know. I don't mind the HasLab. Obviously, it's just a gimmick. a corporate gimmick or whatever, but that's no different than running out to Starbucks for your latest drinks or Dunkin' or whatever you got going on. So tweeting from your latest Apple phone. So I don't mind it. And as long as I know I'm going to get it. Now, if like, you know, Hasbro implodes overnight and I don't get my $300 ground attack jet, obviously I'm going to be a little upset, but
for sure.
I think it all just depends. But I don't mind the made to order concept though.
Yeah. So do you think, and I'll get to the boys in a second because we didn't get their opinion on this last week either, but do you think it's a good idea for some of those? And we'll also show off the you know, the 4 infamous vehicles, of course, from those slideshows. But do you think it's a good idea for made to order for something that's not, like Tony and I always talk about this, not a dream project, right? Something that's not going to really blow our minds, but it's something cool that we want. Do you think this is the way to go, especially maybe based on the solid reception of Dragon Man and the Sentinel 97 X-Men?
I think it's a safe bet, and obviously they're always going to go with the safe bet. And like we talked about dream projects before, the His Tank was claimed to be a dream project at first, but now next to my Vamp, next to my Stinger, next to my Dragonfly, it doesn't hold that same, you know, weight, that centerpiece in my collection. Now a Mobat, I hang 11 figures off of it. That could be a pretty good centerpiece. I'm just saying.
Yeah. For sure. We'll talk about that. But before we get into the specific vehicles, I'll just run right down the list. Tony, you weren't with us last week. What's just you're not a big HasLab guy. Like, you often get your vehicles later from a buddy. You don't really get too excited, maybe lack of room. You're more into customizing the figures than the vehicles. But just your quick thoughts maybe on this whole HasLab drama saga.
Man, I'm fine with it. Give us a break. Give us a break. Okay. I'm not, it doesn't faze me one bit. I'm glad I got the Dragonfly, the Hiss. I got Wolverine gifted to me by Plastic Fantastic. I put that up on Instagram, and I tricked out my Vamp Crazy. And then I got Mark's Hound coming, so I'm okay with no HasLab for 2026.
Right. So you're okay with a year off, but you'd still want to see them. So you don't do the big HasLabs, but how do you feel about maybe the little smaller, medium to large size vehicles that aren't as big as like a Dragonfly or Rattler for like a made to order, something, you know, $125 to $180, something like that, instead of a $300 project?
The most I'm waiting for, if we do something like that, a made to order or retail, Thunder Machine. I don't think Thunder Machine has to be a HasLab per se.
Right.
But that, or, you know, throw us a Devilfish, throw us some Skyhawks. Other companies, Fans Hobbies doing Skyhawks. You got one, right, Bobby? Yeah, it's badass.
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
it's a lot better than I was expecting it to be.
Yeah, so I saw that, and I'm good with that. I'm good with that for now.
Yeah, cool. All right, KJ, bring it down, man. We didn't get your opinion last week either. What's your take on this whole, you know, whether there's going to be a HasLab announcement for Comic-Con this year, for next year, or what's your whole take on this?
It's tricky, right? Because we don't collect in a vacuum. There's everything from tariffs to prices going up on everything from eggs to draws. So it depends on how fervent the Joe community is. Like B said, and B, you single-handedly talked me into getting an Air Eagle, dude. I went to Gundam and I was like, all right, I'm getting one. Tony talked me into getting the damn Jungle Hound. It was like, I don't need it. I already got my Vamp and Stinger, and I already ordered it. No, so are people going to do a $500 Mobat, right? Are people going to do that Hydrofoil on shelf, or as a small $200 HasLab, right? Just to feel it out. Snowcat, we got Snow Job. How badly do people want Frostbite? Would they pay $300 for a Snowcat and Frostbite? It don't snow here in LA, right? That's like, what am I going to do with that? Cross country with the Havoc, right? Like, or if they do cross country, are they going to just give them the stars and bars and not make a big deal out of it? Or is that going to become a whole thing, right?
They're going to give them the raccoon hat.
Just something, right? Exactly, right? But
I know what they're going to do. It's going to be the Havoc with cross country and hooded Cobra Commander finally.
Right, exactly. But that's the thing. We don't collect in a vacuum. So this stuff matters. So we're year 5. And a lot of us have the Dragonfly. We have the His tank. We have Vamps and Stingers. Oh my. And we're still getting third-party stuff. I'm looking at that Fan Hobby Striker because for me, it looks better than the Classified Striker. So it's like a few years ago, like we would have been salivating over this, right? And the Rattler funded, and it funded in great fashion. I remember when people were talking about the Dragonfly, saying like that wasn't going to fund, just shit talking, right? Mm-hmm. So this happens over and over every year, but there wouldn't be. Oh man, I want that so bad. I want that so bad. You deserve it. You deserve it. So it really depends, man. It's like, I think stuff like the Wolverine. I would love to see the Wolverine on shelves. You don't need a HasLab for that. Put that bitch on the shelves. We did that with the Ark. We did that with any number of things for Star Wars. The Millennium Falcon, the Galaxy's Edge Target exclusive, right? $400 on the shelf. That shit went on clearance. It went to $200. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't that sucker hit $150 at Target? That vintage collection, Millennium Falcon, Galaxy's Edge.
I think
right?
so.
Hasbro doesn't want that to happen to the Wolverine. They don't want that to happen to Thunder Machine. So Thunder Machine will probably be e-tailers, not going to be Walmart or Target if they do that on the shelves. You can do a HasLab this year, but I can easily see them saying, fuck a HasLab. Let's just put this on the shelves. Let's just go ahead. I don't think Mobat is ever going to make it onto the shelves. Right?
No.
HasLab.
Yeah. But we have plenty of vehicles that we can do where you don't need a HasLab for that. And people like me will pay $150 for it. They'll pay $200 for it. I paid $200 for the Jungle Hound. I paid $100 for the Air Eagle. Right? And Fans Hobby, they'll keep eating Hasbro's lunch because we should have had an Air Eagle. We should have had a Skyhawk and a Fang by the end of 20
long time ago. Yeah.
Right. About 2.5 years ago. So if I can go on eBay and the Rattler is still going for $400, $450, $500, if the Dragonfly is still going up, right? People want the stuff. So you can take some time off, forget the crowdfunding. Like Bobby said, it's a marketing scheme, basically. That Ecto-1. The HasLab probably allowed the Ecto-1 to get produced, but from what I hear, the numbers were so low that they're not going to see much profit from it, right? So sometimes you do need that. Sometimes you're like, Engine of Vengeance, that didn't work. But
here's another one, right? So Giant Man funded, but it didn't hit all the stretch tiers. And my biggest complaint in my review was that it didn't include the scroll mask, that they just couldn't give us that because they didn't, and that's a whole nother topic, not wanting to set a precedent where we're going to expect them to give us stuff, but it didn't give me the value that I thought we should have got because we didn't get all the stretchers.
And part of my interruption, that goes to my next point. This is a business. This is a business. Hasbro is a business pretending to be a community. Yep. The community is the community. This is the community right here. In the chat, you see the community, right? Hasbro is a business, period. It's not about satisfaction. It's about shareholder profit. It's about pleasing that group of investors first, and then maybe pleasing us. But a lot of times we'll end up buying the stuff anyway, and they know that, and they factor it in.
Right, and we'll talk about that later with maximum effort. I want to pull up a super chat from King Ape, $9.99. Thank you so much. Remember that we will also get these types of offerings from Ramen Toy, our good friend Ace, and Fans Hobby. We will now have the pick of the litter price-wise. Thoughts on this comment? I think this is a good comment. I'll go to you, Tony.
Yeah, that's totally true, because especially from the stuff we've seen at Joe Fest and the stuff he's been, showing while he's making the rounds on the YouTubes and everybody's streams and stuff. Yeah, man, he's coming out with some tanks and bridge layers, stuff like that, and he's filling that void, which is cool. I mean, you got the money, there you go. Ace is hooking it up.
Right, and then I'll cut to Bobby on this. Segue it is, do you think with this, right, that Hasbro sees it and they're like, let's jump on the made to order and get these vehicles out, because Gridiron and Ace or whatever, they're doing this stuff, and we can do it, and it's official. We own it, right?
I think that there was probably someone who kept pitching, hey, GIJoe vehicles, GIJoe vehicles, GIJoe vehicles. And I think there was someone at Hasbro. It's like, I don't know. Do they need vehicles? And then he's like, hey, Ramen Toys. Hey, Fans Hobby. And then they're like, look at these, pictures on Instagram. Look at these pictures on YouTube, Facebook, etc. They're like, okay, yeah, vehicles. We need vehicles. So they're going to have to play catch up now. And like KJ was saying, is we have the pick of the litter. So you can get your $100 Skyhawk and be like, I mean, not officially a GIJoe product, but it still gets the job done. It looks great. Or you could hold out for the $100 Hasbro official version, and you're not guaranteed it's going to be $100 either. It could be more, it could be less. Right. So you kind of got to decide. Same with the Ramen Toys tanks. I would be lying if I gave a price off the top of my head right now how much they were or are, but you could bite the bullet and get the unofficial military tank, or you could try to wait and see if Hasbro someday maybe makes the tank, or you could miss out on it completely. So I think at this point it's kind of like a race of who's getting what first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
cool.
Hound from Gridiron's going to be here really quick.
Exactly.
We got to wait on the.
We have that in 4 to 6 weeks or whatever, 6 to 8 weeks. So
exactly,
and then we don't even have any announcement for the Ostriker yet. So.
Yep. And then KJ, did you have any comment on that about the void being filled, but then Hasbro maybe seeing that now?
Finally? Well, I definitely see a void in that we're lucky enough to have over 80 people watching us, rocking with us right now. I only see about 40-some likes, man. We got to get the likes up, man. Show us some love. Show the homie Bobby B some love. Show my dude Tony Spig some love. And I guess show Travis Moody some love.
You don't have to
show me some love.
I just hit it.
I appreciate that. And Chad's always letting you guys know, man. Hit that like button. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't appreciate you guys.
Know if you like
with us on Tuesday. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Look, man, this stuff I'm still having fun with this stuff. I'm still seeing fantastic photos being taken. I can't wait to get that Skyhawk, that Air Eagle. I can't wait to get the Fang so I can recreate Duke pulling the pilot out of the cockpit and shooting up the Cobra Troopers in the first issue of Skybound GIJoe. Spoilers. And I'm spoiling Skybound. Y'all motherfuckers had a year, man. I'm spoiling shit now, so that's on y'all. But the point is, we're still having fun with this. The community's still having fun. Shout out to Death Valley Machine, doing great work on Instagram. Has a great group right now. Shout out to GIJoe Classified Elite. Salute to Marauder Rubin in that group. I always have a good time in there, and always seeing fantastic work out of these guys. Sure. So bring it on, man. You can slow it down because shit, money is tight for a lot of folks. I'm selling shit. I had sold almost all of my Storm collectibles because I wasn't doing anything with it. I am doing stuff with the Joes.
You got Jada. You don't need Storm anymore. Last thing we got for this topic before we move on, and we'll circle back to GIJoe. I just want to get Bobby, and then we'll get yours too because you guys weren't on last week. But so these 4 from the slideshow, how likely and would you I don't want to go too crazy into this, but just kind of like how likely or how badly do you want any of these? And then would you see them as a HasLab or made to order or just never? Go ahead, Bobby.
The Hammer, I mean, it's just a Humvee. A part of me wants it because you guys know I'm after that 2008 SWAT set and all those pieces, and those are a pretty penny. And that was part of that convention set. I think if we get anything though, they'd have to classify it up. And if you could make me small real quick.
Yep.
If we got a Havoc, I'd imagine it would be very beefy and very classified up. If you guys are picking up what I'm putting down, same with the Snowcat. So, I don't think we're just gonna get our old tiny. Maybe it'd probably be a 2-seater, but I don't think it'd have that same thing. I think it would have to be beefy if it's going to hit that classified or the HasLab mark, excuse me. So I think that, I was never a fan of the original Havoc, but I know they did that Snowcat repaint one in the modern era. So I'd love to see what they could do with the old school design and try to make it to have the figures lay down in it. Cause I know a lot of them have that, head looking up issue. So I don't know if they'd go that route or if they'd try a different route for the cockpit or anything like that. Same with the portable sled. It would have to be more practical or modern, I guess, would be the appropriate term.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the MBT. Who doesn't want a giant tank? So,
right. Mm-hmm. Cool. Sounds good. Did you got Tony or KJ? Did you have any just a quick bite on any of these 4 vehicles? I'll go with you, Tony.
I wouldn't mind a Snowcat. You know, we've got. Who wouldn't want a Frostbite? You know, I'm probably gonna make one. I know KJ's is gonna make one. All we got is Snow Job for now. You know, Snowcat will be awesome. You know, hey, I got snow in Northern California, in Northern Arizona. That's all I got, but I'd take that just to have him in something. If we don't have a Polar Battle Bear, man, I can't believe we don't got that yet. But,
yeah, wow.
I like the Hammer. This was when the Hammer came out. I was out of GIJoe when I was a kid. But damn, if that came out, you know, like Bobby said, it's a Humvee, like loaded up crazy. Look at
it was one of my first vehicles, except it was a brawler.
Yeah, that's badass. It's crazy.
Joe versus Cobra days.
You can get a 112 Hummer. I mean, it's going to be expensive as hell, like an RC 112.
Yeah, I'd wait for either this fan channel or retail or whatever. But woo, the Mauler would be insane. And the Havoc, like Bobby said too, I wasn't a fan of that. You know, I'm like, what? Hawk is a sitting duck up there. Holy crap! Like, he's trying to outdo the Triple T with Sarge. My God, you know what I mean? But
yeah.
Anyways, yeah,
Sure.
I would if they ever did the Havoc like that or a HasLab or something, they'd have to classify it way up. You know, for the laying down guys, like he said, and the little module that Lifeline is flying away in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, for sure. That was a great take. Obviously, on the Havoc, you're not going to leave it the way it is. Yeah.
Yeah, this Havoc is almost like a He-Man Masters of the Universe vehicle with those tracks and stuff.
Right. That's the one that stands out the most to me. Is I just can't see it happening unless I think Bobby said it right, unless they classified it. I'm just going to go to you, KJ, so we can move on to the toy news and come back to Joe.
Really quick on the Havoc, it'd be pretty cool to have like blast effects on the hovercraft. That's part of the Havoc. That I could see that, like even just wind effects of it, like flying like that.
Yeah. And you could as a stand, you could put it separate.
Yeah, that would be dope. I could see that. But for the tank, for the Mauler, if they are going to go the HasLab route, it has to be a 4-in-1. This thing needs to be a Mobat. It needs to be a Wolverine, and it needs to be a Mauler, and it needs to be either a bridge layer or even a Slugger with the motorized cannon.
But then they get accused of stealing Ramen Toys' idea. But then again, Ramen Toys is making a toy that he doesn't own, right? So it's kind of a weird
everybody's
thing, right?
I mean, a tank's a tank. It is what it is.
Yeah, do it.
Well, he made it so cool, with the modularity, and then for them to just do that, I feel like Hasbro already gets accused of a lot of copying already. So
but they already do that, and people copy Hasbro. Right. There's entire lines that only exist because of copying GIJoe, man. Right? So, I mean, they've been in the game for 60+ years now. So I'd say just don't say shit. Even if you're going to rip off Ace, just don't say anything about it. He doesn't.
Yeah.
That dude, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Just give it to me, and so I can save money instead of buying 4 different tanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I would say the counter to all that is, well, they did a secret
Leo Kaiser,
and it funded, right? So it funded in less than a week, and it didn't have a fan stream. I know Terry Ruin in the earlier Baldy stream talked about they're not organized enough to even have a fan stream right now. They're kind of shifting parts and gears. I know BMAC went to the Joe team, but then he went on paternity leave. Dan Yoon's on paternity leave. So dudes is knocking boots, right? They can't getting babies, making babies. So they ain't got time for toys. They get ready for the baby crib toy. So, things are happening with Hasbro and Transformers, or at least it's funded. So it's okay, GIJoe has the most successful, 3 in a row, nailed it, surpassed. We showed the numbers last week. So why wouldn't they do a Hasbro? So that's And then I guess the other part is Spec talked about with us an unfounded rumor he heard that Transformers is moving to a made-to-order model, and I guess that would depend on the Marvel Legends success, which I think it was pretty good. Bobby, we didn't bring you here for Transformers, but just with that all said, do you think the Transformers, this Leo Kaiser success, has any dwelling on the plans for GIJoe HasLab maybe happening? Do you expect at Comic-Con, right, for them to announce a HasLab for 2026?
To be honest, I don't follow Transformers at all. So
Right.
I don't know if there's any current media that was like backing this guy. I don't even know who this guy is.
It's just like an older Japanese animation version of Transformers. But my question isn't necessarily about Transformers. It's more about the success of this without a fan stream, we made fun of it last week. It was hardly like they did a quick 2-minute video on it. They had a little social media and it got funded. So why wouldn't GIJoe, right? Why wouldn't GIJoe have an announcement for a HasLab when they have 3 that fucking killed it? And then this funded without any hype at all. That's my question to you.
But you're saying 3 in a row. Like that's one of those things. It's like, well, do they risk it and go for 4 in a row, or do they take their break year or whatever and go from there?
Right.
And then as far as Comic-Con, with not to jump the gun with the MCU coming back, and I saw Cap 4 on Friday, and I really enjoyed it. So I have high hopes for the next 2. Not to change the topic completely, but Thunderbolts, I don't think it's going to do as great as it needs to do, but I think it's still going to be pretty fun to watch. And then Fantastic Four is Fantastic Four. So, but is GIJoe going to get bumped out of that premiere spot at Comic-Con to put Marvel back in the headline or whatever, that Friday slot, Saturday slot, whatever it was that they made a big deal about last year? Or are we going to get GIJoe June and actually do GIJoe June stuff like the HasLab, announce the HasLab, stuff like that? So
lots to think about. Yep.
But I don't see why they wouldn't. I mean, it seems that Classified is doing pretty well for them. So not to say, milk it till it's dry, but keep it rolling at least. And always go with the safe bet, which is, I mean, they're a corporation. It's what they do anyways. So
cool. Before we hit the toy news, Tony and KJ, either one of you can go on this, but would you agree or with Bobby, or what do you think? Does this Transformers, the success of this HasLab that wasn't really hyped, and like Spec called it a slam dunk in the chat, like, do you think this has any bearing on what Joe's gonna do with HasLab?
No, Transformers is its own fandom, and there are different fandoms within Transformers. They're not the same fan, and you can say that even with Joe. Like, there was a lot of people who were like, to hell with Classified, I'm staying O-Ring only. They didn't even mess with the Walmart retro collection. They wanted O-Ring back, right? So it just depends. I think there's enough room, and if the Joe team's like, yeah, we're going to do something special this year with the HasLab, right? Then they could still show up. Unless it would take Hasbro basically saying goodbye to a license and doing that as a big splash. If this is the last Marvel year, if this is the last Star Wars year or something like that, like that's what it would take to shelve out Joe and save Joe for MCM or New York or whatever.
Cool. All right. Well, hey, you know what, Tony? We're going to skip that topic, but I'm going to go right to you on this. We're going to enter a little bit more toy news. And speaking of Paint Masters, bro, your boy right there, Uncle Mark, Mr. Von Cannon, live in the flesh, the plastic flesh. What do you think of this bad boy? Shout out to Chris Scott, Grindhouse Toys, Paint Master, terrific job.
Yeah, terrific job. Man, I was going to do this too, but there just was not enough time to get it done, and Mark had to do it himself on another version. That's the one we saw at Joe Fest. Now Grindhouse Toys got a hold of it, did his Paint Master, and it came out great, man. I really like. I call the black and white and gray camo the urban type camo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really dope. I can't wait. I ordered this a long time ago with the red ninja looking guy, whatever it was. I can't demon looking, whatever. And yeah, man, it looks good, man. It looks just like Mark when he's kind of pissed.
It looks like he was hitting the sands a little bit, and he forgot his sunscreen.
He's like, "Hurry up, Quaid! I need this.
Yeah,
I need this hound coming out before the Ostriker. Hurry up!"
rare form. Mark Buncannon. KJ, how you feeling about Operation Monster Force Commander Gridiron right here?
I think it looks amazing, man. You cut to me real quick. I have that same shotgun with the drum right there, so I'm a big fan. So it's gonna look great, especially an injection molded version of this.
Oh yeah,
it's gonna be badass, man. So yeah, now I highly recommend it. Get that sucker. Extra hands, the super sick head sculpt with the skull gas mask. Give me that, man. That's gonna be dope.
Yeah, there's a gold version of that too. I got it.
Yep, same. And I know B, you reviewed that gold mask with some other things too, right? So Operation Monster Force, you reviewed all the figs. You're a fan. How you feeling about our good buddy Mr. Gridiron here in figure form?
I think it looks great. I think it looks awesome. Can't wait to see him and the rest of the troops with him. I think Monster Force, if you're not behind Monster Force, get behind it. You're going to regret it down the line if you're not, especially with where it looks like it's heading and everything like that. I mean, look at this guy. This guy looks fantastic. So I think Monster Force is probably going to be the number 2 slot for military figures for me this year. So looking
100%.
forward to it.
100%. Can't wait. And shout out to Mark, man. We got to have him back on for when he gets some new stuff. All right, moving on with the toy news. Hey, Mezco Samurai Jack announced today, pre-order tomorrow. KJ, you a fan?
I love Samurai Jack. Even Gennady Tarovsky's new stuff, Primal on Mask. I think I can see Mezco reusing samurai ninja weapons they already have, but to really fit that style, they need to be stylized. And even if you have new quote-unquote animated cartoonish versions of those weapons, you can reuse them for a different Mezco samurai or other Mezco ninja characters or whatever. But I would love to see this. I would love to see some of the accessories. We got that weapons rack with deluxe Snake Eyes. I would love to see a stylized weapons rack for the Samurai Jack. Different head sculpts, so on and so forth. If the sleeves are wired, so you can do different wind effects, right? So not just on the robes, but even the sleeves. There's a lot of fun that you could do with this. Yeah, I'm excited.
Sure. B, are you a fan?
Yeah, I think he looks great. I remember watching the show a lot as a kid, so I think he looks fantastic. Definitely has that aesthetic to him. And then, I mean, you can't I don't have any Mezcos outside of the Joes, so I can't speak for all the Mezcos, but all my Joes are pretty much on point, with the exception of Snake Eyes, because that weird leather he has on his shoulder pads. But besides that, I think they're all pretty awesome. So,
yeah, for sure. And Tony?
Yeah, man. No, I'm a fan. I mean, I don't have any Mezcos. I stay in my lane. I don't collect Mezcos.
Smart man, saving lots of money.
Yeah, well, I collect Gridiron. That's where it goes.
Oh, well, there you go. Maybe not so smart after all.
Get everything for freaking free. I mean, yeah, he looks cool, man. It makes me want to watch the animated show.
Right, it does.
It's streaming on anywhere. I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah, I always want to know how articulated he is. You know.
Oh yeah.
If at all.
And Bobby's looking up where you can stream it. Is that what you're doing?
Yep, Sling and Max. It looks like.
Yeah. Okay, Max. I got Max.
There you go. That's pretty good.
I don't think I know how it ends. Nobody spoil it, but I don't think I know how it ends.
No, but yeah, if the same guy made Primal was awesome. That was fantastic. I'm a big fan of Primal.
This guy oddly would fit in with what they're doing with the Batman animated series. Of course, you know, it's DC Comics and Gotham and just the style, right? Almost in a way, it kind of like the Mezco style, I'm saying, kind of fits in a little bit. You wouldn't put the two together, but just if you were to do an animated, unless you do an animation, Mezco animation shelf, it could work.
Yep. I agree.
Speaking of ninjas, this has been taking up my time. As soon as we get off the air, I'm going back into it. I know we don't talk a lot about video games, but since we were talking about ninjas, samurais, and all that, I had to bring this up because it's a remaster. It's on consoles right now, and I played last night, and I love the game. And shout out to Unparalleled Universe. He's probably live right now. And yeah, he threw this on his stories, and I was like, oh no. So this would have been a figure during COVID when we're getting stimulus checks and there was no inflation and no tariffs and no bullcrap. I would have just bought it and then regretted it because I'm like, I don't need this. But now I'm like, no, I cannot buy it. But that said, I still wanted to give my dude Ryu Hayabusa some love. KJ, I'm gonna go to you. You fan of Ninja Gaiden and our dude Ryu here?
I mean, I was a fan of old school Ninja Gaiden, but Revoltech and Amazing Yamaguchi, they always do good work, man. I have to be careful because I'll see shit like this and I'll be like, I'm gonna get that too. Like I'm gonna get the fighting armor Captain America from Brave New World, or I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that. I have to chill. I had to behave this year. There is such a thing as over collecting. So shout out to the people who already got this in hand. Shout out to people who got the Ghost of Tsushima figures when that was available from Figma, right? Or anyone who got Horizon Forbidden West. Like if you're getting that, you're living that video game life, kudos to you. Shout out to Jada and Cyberpunk, right? So for the fans, the true blue fans who are about that life and they want those figs, they're the ones that get it. I got Mafex figures right now. I got the Black Panther with the throne. That sucker took over a year to get, but I got it and it's beautiful. So you can't get everything. That's the thing. This looks super sweet. When did this come out?
Well, it says it's on pre-order at BBTS, and Amazon had it up for pre-order last September, but I think only imports people have it, getting it overseas right now. So it's coming out this month, I think.
Yeah.
How much is the sucker?
If you're buying domestic, it's going to be more expensive. You're better off going to Ninden Games, CD Japan.
5K.
Yeah. Plaza Japan. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how much?
120 USA right now.
Oh,
USD.
Man,
and it's 112. Well, 6 inches.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yep.
It's
I know. It's like one of those that could fit in with that Mezco Snake Eyes and all that, but it's who knows.
It's in his own world. Yeah, I'm an old school like KJ, the old school video game at the arcade Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden, yeah. We got a couple questions here. Let's see. Are his upper arms hollow? I think you're talking about this or Samurai Jack. I don't know. You guys help me out with this.
I'm not
Can
sure.
you go back a picture?
Oh, good call.
Hollow enough to put the articulated joint in.
Yeah, the ball peg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. His katana is made from a dragon's fang. Nice. Look at that. Cool. And then I want to say hi to our friend Toyomic. He's here.
What up, Trey? What up, Trey?
What up? Cool. But yeah, amazing looking figure. It's one of those things I get if I was in Japan and say, fuck it, I'm in Japan. I'm going to pay $60 for it. But 120, no thanks. A lot of people don't want to pay this price, and you don't just collect GIJoe Classified and military toys, Bobby. You also collect Marvel Legends, and you do a good job at it. We have to get your thoughts, and we got to get the panel's thoughts. We're all Marvel Legends fans here. Maximum priced Spider-Man. Well, there you go. I don't even have to ask him. You got his answer right there. But and there's his answer. But Bobby, your answer. How you feeling about Maximum Spidey?
So the only Marvel Legends I have, I could probably count quickly. I just do Captain America and then Shield Jason.
Well, you did a Ghost Rider review. You did didn't you do Jean Grey too? I'm trying to think of all the reviews.
Yeah, but those ones were phoned in, as the haters say. So, but I think $50 for that's a little goofy.
Yeah, this okay.
Oh, I was showing you, but yeah,
Mauser.
The Mouser.
There you go. All right, but go ahead, Bobby.
I think $50 is a little goofy for that. That's a lot. I don't exactly know what is so special about him. I've kind of been seeing all the different takes on it and everything like that. 70 Canada's wild.
Amazing.
We got hopefully this isn't the future projected for every line. Hopefully there's not like a GIJoe America's Elite line coming and it's $50 for Duke with 2 heads and 4 sets of hands and a backpack and a gun. Blaster. I think that there's maybe 40 would be stretching it with this. I think 40 would have gotten a lot more people happier, but I think it's because
39, just having that 3 there, $39.99. That would have just shut half, most of the community up, I think.
$40 I would have bought it.
Sold out. Sold out everywhere. I think you can only get a GameStop.
But you know what? Because of all the bullshit surrounding it, all the controversy surrounding it, everybody and their fucking mom making a video over it and talking about it and crying about it and whining about it. I get all the points. I kind of just want to get it to just leave it in the closet. I got that thing because of all the bullshit surrounding it, not because of the figure itself, just because $50 ain't gonna hurt me.
In 5 years down the line, when the Maximum line's the only line available from Hasbro, you're like, hey, who wants Maximum #1?
Exactly. It's like,
you're gonna sell for 400.
Everybody's crying. Everybody cries about they're not raised. The webs are not raised and sculpted. Who gives a shit?
I give a shit.
In the comics does not have. To me, Spidey doesn't have raised freaking webbing. He never did. Only maybe Maguire did. That's it. But look at the buck. You can make Daredevil, Iron Fist, Moon Knight, Shang-Chi from that buck. Unless you want to make them a little bigger, then you're talking different molds. They're going to reuse that thing big time. It's up to you if it's worth it or not. I'd love $40. $39.99, I'm in. But $50 for this? Damn. They're just, and then you do it. You think in your mind, am I feeding Hasbro look, we can give this fucker to people at 50. Look what we can do with the other ones. They'll buy it. They're gonna buy it. He. Well, I don't want to I don't want to be a part of that, but
no, I think you nailed exactly what the community is feeling in Hasbro as well. But KJ, how do you feel about the deception of the price? Like it just kind of, I think an intern running a Hasbro Pulse account, just said it and wasn't supposed to probably. No, and then just hiding the price. I mean, give me your thoughts on that. Yeah.
Yeah, they should have been upfront if this was $49.99. There are several Spider-Man action figures and even Marvel Legends action figures that have doubled in price on the aftermarket and eBay and Mercari, tripled in price, quadrupled in price. I know because I've sold them. And I sold them on the low end because that's how I sell them. Because I'm like, okay, if people are willing to pay this, I know how much I paid for it, and I'm willing to do this much. I sell what the market will bear. So, for example, Gamerverse Spider-Man. Gamerverse Spider-Man also had an articulated buck, had the diaphragm joint, had all that stuff, right? Looked pretty good, straight out the PlayStation 5 Spider-Man. $30 when it came out. And now it's 64, 75, something like that. That's just a Gamerverse Marvel Legends. So this is cheaper, except now that it's sold out, unless it comes back again on Hasbro Pulse back in stock, you're not paying $50 for a Maximum series. This will be $65, $75, $100, because that's what people are willing to pay. I bring up the raised webs because that's what Mofex does. Tony, I think even that CT Toys knockoff that you have, even that has raised webs, does it not?
I don't think it does.
No, okay.
I have it put away, but I don't think it does.
Yeah. So that's just an example. And Hasbro has made Marvel Legends Spider-Man with raised webs before. Oh, let's signal out Tony's real quick. So here's the thing: we're talking about plastic. We're talking about plastic and paint. It is what people are willing to pay money for.
That's the Renew Your Vows, Spidey, and I just painted him a lighter blue. And he's in that pose, more or less.
And remember, that Renew Your Vows buck was hostage pack. Like, you always had to buy a 2-pack to get it, or even if it was Daredevil, there was a 3-pack that one. Right. So a lot of times, that was the only way to get that super articulated figure. Go ahead, Bobby.
I said, or a cell-shaded 2-pack was that Daredevil, because that's the one I have. He's hanging off my display right now.
I took all that cell shading off him.
The Punisher 2-pack with Bushwhacker, that one was $50, right? And that was also diaphragm joint, all that stuff. Did it have
Dude, that's
articulation?
maximum in its own self, yeah.
You know, so imagine a Maximum Series Punisher or a Maximum Series Daredevil, a Maximum Series Thor. And now that the community has taught Hasbro that they're willing to pay $50 for these figures, they're not going to go back. This is just like that 1/6 scale 12-inch Marvel Legends that they were doing. And they're out the gate, they were about $100, something like that. They didn't move. It just wasn't premium enough. So they clearanced. A lot of people got their 12-inch Marvel Legends for the same price as 6-inch, like $20 or something like that, right? So in doing this, it can either inflate the entire line, where not only is everything going to become Maximum Series from here on out, but even the other figures. They've been toying with increasing the price from $24.99. GameStop will be $25.99. Walmart will be $27.99, right? Until it becomes $30. You'll pay $50 for Maximum. So what about $35 for these deluxes?
Right.
Both Captain and Falcon are $40 each. That's not an accident. They're getting you used to paying more for these figures.
Exactly.
Right. But then there's the tricky dynamic pricing where it actually goes backwards. So I got, look at that, everyone's favorite new GIJoe toy, since we don't get any, right, Bobby? Did you grab this? Yeah, I mean, this guy goes great with Raptor. I'm sorry, you could just make this guy
Falcon versus Raptor goes hard, yeah.
$17, right? $34.99, 17. I went to Target and showed them the Walmart thing. Thankfully, it was still in stock, because if you click on the link, like from Turnier or anybody, it goes to the $45 secondary market and they won't do it. Thankfully, he was still in stock. Now I think he's gone. But $17, the dynamic pricing went backwards in Walmart. Usually, I remember with WWE figures we were showing you in Marvel Legends, it was on Amazon, it was going up to 30. Dynamic pricing, it was from Amazon, from Walmart, not a third party, but these weren't selling. People were worried about the movie, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then it went down to 17. And then since people were buying them at 17, it went up to, 35 and 40. So the dynamic going backwards.
But let me ask a question to our guest. Bobby, what do you think? What do you think is a right price for Maximum Series? Do you think it is 50 and we're just being curmudgeons? I think
he was saying 40 though, right? It is.
Yeah, I'd probably say 40 would be pretty good, because if you compare it to any other lines deluxe, I don't know about Black Series. Are there deluxe Black Series figures?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what their price point is.
Right?
But if you look at I'm gonna use Heavy Duty as an example, because I was messing with him today, and I wouldn't use him as a deluxe.
Well, this is a good comment right here, Bobby. I'll stick with you, and you want to reply to this? I know it's a joke, but I mean, hey,
I mean, I don't either. I don't want to see $50 Joes, but I will say that, like, Heavy Duty, for everything he comes with, I think he's pretty on the money. He's a great figure, a great sculpt. I'm having fun with him. I didn't care for the original Heavy Duty at first. I don't know if you guys watched my video or not, that my first Heavy Duty was from Joe vs. Cobra. So yeah, the guys in the corner there, they look nothing like the original. So getting the original with his crazy kooky classified updated weapons system, and for $35 or whatever, 34, blah blah blah, whatever the deluxe pricing is great. And I'll go back to my Raptor. Raptor blew me away. Can I swear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's like a time limit with everything, but I didn't give two shits about Raptor until I got that classified figure in my hand, and I'm like, this guy's fucking sick. Like, this guy's a lot of fun. I don't give two shits about a Cobra accountant that fucking controls birds, but this guy's a lot of fun. So
he's dope. Yeah. I don't know why.
Unfortunately, he went to clearance. I don't expect Heavy Duty to, but I could be wrong. Just because he's a lot of fun. And I think minus him having some kind of secondary weapon, whether a drop down with a pistol or just, the traditional cartoon blaster, he's worth every penny, in my opinion. And the goofy metalhead rocket thing, but we all knew that was coming, so that wasn't as much of a disappointment as it was the first time.
Right. And you got some love here. Just want to share it. Toyomic's a great review. He got his from CMD, and he's going to be Toyomic's going to be working on his review. Punk just put his review up too. We go up there, And this is probably the next one from what we're hearing is the Maximum Hulk. So the Maximum Hulk isn't going to be 50.
What can these figures come with? That's what I'm trying
A
to figure out.
giant rock.
So, yeah, exactly.
Like an
a
Iron
giant
Man.
steel girder.
Iron Man to come with a couple different hands, a couple different heads, some blast effects. Like I
Mad
don't
He's
know.
gonna come with Hulk hands. He's gonna have Hulk hands.
Go in the
He can
bin
throw.
unless I'm taking pictures. More
Yeah.
shit to put away.
So
There
let me,
was a couple of-
let me ask you this.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead, KJ.
What does $100 Maximum Hulk look like? $100. Go.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You better have a steel girder. You better have some rocks. You better have a one.
Come with a Bruce Banner, fully articulated Bruce Banner.
Yeah, thank you. Yep. Bruce Banner.
Honestly, KJ, you know what it looks like? It looks like community outrage. That's what $100 Hulk looks like.
The
end of the
$100
line.
Marvel Legends
Yeah.
Hulk Maximum. Ugh.
Never. No,
Or a
that
Thing
can't
for
happen.
that matter. Or a Juggernaut for that matter. Or a Colossus.
Oh, the 60th anniversary comment about the 60th anniversary figures. Those are Maximum. That hits the nail on the head.
Yeah.
You get alternate heads, alternate hands, so much gear you don't know what to do with.
Yeah. I want to say a special hello to Diana Davis in the
Diana?
house. Past great guest. Yeah, 35 sounds right, but they got to pay the Disney tax, the greed tax, the tariff tax, the inflation tax, the hype beast tax, right? Like Jordan improving upgrading their shoe sales prices. That's the same thing. Hype beast. The community wants it. So and we appreciate you saying hi. I know it's very late, and take care. Thank you so much. Have a great week as well. But actually, there's a couple of comments I wanted to throw up here. First of all, we have almost 110 people watching on a Tuesday. We go on Wednesdays. Guys, like the show. I appreciate it. And thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We got a great show going on. And we got some Joe stuff coming up. And here we go. I don't understand how a figure, Mr. Madgus, I don't understand how a figure that's not been made yet gets sold out. KJ, I was going to go to you. Thank you.
Yeah. So basically, you have minimum order quantity, right? So Hasbro says, I need to make 50,000 Maximum Series Spider-Man figures to make it worth it. Yeah. So we're going to do 50,000. Some go here, some go there. But these people are going to order this much. So Entertainment Earth has this many, get sold out. Hasbro Pulse, which is not the official, I mean, like it's an outlet for Hasbro, but it's basically
it's another entity, yeah.
Yeah, it's what Hasbro Toy Shop used to be back in the day. In fact, if you still know where to look, Google Shopping still has a Hasbro storefront. eBay still has a Hasbro storefront. And they all get their own inventories, even though they're still official Hasbro outlets, just like Hasbro Pulse. Target, Walmart, Amazon, you name it. But they only get so many, they get sold out. So Maximum Series is sold out everywhere. Maybe, strangely enough, if you look on import sites, you can probably still get a Maximum Series Spider-Man, but you'll have to pay in yen. And then there's conversion rates and that kind of stuff. So it's just one of those weird artifacts, basically.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So you're going to have a small minimum order quantity first, right? And you need that hype. They use FOMO. They want us to want to get Maximum Series, to be curious about it. I don't know how many damn Spider-Man figures I have. Just from Black Suit Spider-Man. I have the animated series Black Suit Spider-Man. I have the Secret Wars Black Suit Spider-Man. I have Mofex Black Suit Spider-Man. This damn Maximum Series Black Suit Spider-Man is going to cost $50, right? They want us to want it.
Yep.
One thing from my childhood, I guess for Spider-Man in general, just thinking of Spider-Man is I always think of Tobey Maguire taking the Goblin Bomb to the face. And I used to collect I still collect mini-mates, I guess, if you count the GIJoes. But one of my, the mini-mates had like a regular version of some characters and then a battle damage version. And Spider-Man had a battle damage version, and it was just so perfectly like done that it looked awesome. And we don't have any battle damaged anything. Maybe a couple stormtroopers here and there, but no legends, no Joes, no Cobras, nothing. So I think some battle damage
iconic.
Parts would have been great.
It's iconic in the comic and movie to have the battle damage on Spider-Man. So it's crazy that we don't have it.
At least the head sculpts, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
A
couple more comments.
What
was that?
No, there's like, hey, where's the beat up faces at? The torn up masks. I want, you know, if we're going GIJoe Toys, hey, send us a pack with the beat up faces, man.
I
Everybody's
can't
been asking for
believe
that,
we
dude.
got a $50
And they'll give it to
Spider-Man in the age of GIJoe Toys.
They're the Street Fighter
Very
guys,
true.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Street Fighter. Yeah, GIJoe Toys, the Street Fighter. Give us the ones that they get beat up. We can, you know, a winner and a loser. You know.
Well, remember,
they're
not to
going
get
to. They're going
into
to clean up with that. They're going to clean that up.
right, not to go too crazy, but remember the pink Chun-Li that you got had the face sculpt for even because they gave us a new face sculpt. They made sure to give the like the blue bonnet, right, for the regular Player One edition. So that was a good, again, thinking progressively. Let's got a couple more comments and then we'll move on in subjects here. I don't know if this is a new name. I apologize, but Felipe, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Sure. There's plenty of Hasbro Spider-Mans, but how many McFarlane Spideys, right? So they don't mean McFarlane toy Spidey, means the traditional comic Spider-Man #1 McFarlane. Only 2, and those 2 go over 100 plus easy. So I guess that could be part of the hype too, is getting this look of Spider-Man as the Maximum series, right? What was that, Tony?
That's what I sold my McFarlane Spidey. You know, I mean, it was an old. I think it's an old Toy Biz or Spider-Man Classics before Toy Biz. McFarlane Spidey.
Cool. All right, last one is where'd you get that? Got to shout out GIJoe. I think he retired, but Slickalicious is still going on. But I know he sent us some jerseys before Joe Fest last year, and big shout out. We hope you come back because we're gonna need some merch for Joe Fest this year. I'll have to give him a buzz. So, all right, let's move on. And then the last thing for Marvel is, yes, we got hit with this today. There's a live stream on Thursday. And yes, we normally go live on Wednesday, and we're going tonight. So we're going to do an episode on Saturday. We had actually placed a poll today on our YouTube community. Don't sleep on that. Check it out every now and then. Saturday or Sunday. And Saturday is winning by 75%. So, and the good thing is I get off work earlier that day. So it'll be old school, OG, ATKM, Bobby, yours truly, and Black Genghis. We're going to wrap up the fan stream and maybe get an interview with these guys sooner or later. I reached out to everybody. I know Dan's on paternity leave. Shout out to Dan Yoon. But I was talking to Ryan and Dwight. We're trying to set something up. It's a little harder to get the Marvel team on. They're a bigger team than Joe, and they have there's many factors there with Marvel and Disney. If you don't have like 70,000 subscribers, they're not just going to pop on your stream like the Joe brand will. So we're going to try to get talking with them next week, but if not, we'll figure something else out. What's with the 3 streams in a row, KJ? I know that's gotta hurt GIJoe fans, man. See it right here. Look, 3 Marvel fan streams in 3 months, possibly a big goodbye to the. Do you think they're just rushing through trying to get this stuff out of here, or what's your take on it?
It just depends, because this is a big year for Marvel. So we just had Captain America Brave New World. We have Fantastic Four First Steps and Thunderbolts, like Bobby B said. I think some of the chatter, and I forget where I saw it, but retailers basically saying that they have a Gamerverse Spider-Man collection coming out. So they're all going to be figures from the PlayStation game. And then there's a new Keystone, like basically a main Gamerverse Spider-Man figure. So the one from Spider-Man 2 right now, and I think that one retailed for $34.99. That was $35, and that was the super articulated figure. So that was $35, and now that one's going double. It's going $65, $70. So now they're going to do a new one that's more updated.
Have they reused that bucket all from that Gamerverse Spider-Man?
I think so. I think it's the same buck. I think it's the Renew Your Vows, and I think like Daredevil.
Same thing,
yeah, Daredevil.
The one that has white in it, the white spider on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that super articulated one.
I think it's this.
Yeah, it costs more. Just making that figure costs more than the other Ab Crunch Spider-Man figures that you would get. Right. Then that's what I'm saying, because that Maximum series, unless they change the formula and they're using a better plastic that articulates better, holds its poses better. Because when I buy MothX, it feels better. If I get Mattel Ultimate Edition WWE figures, they pose
Careful
better.
talking about plastic. You're going to upset some people.
I know. But I collect Masterverse. I collect Motu Origins. I collect this stuff. And it matters. And there's a reason the stuff I don't collect for a reason. Because I remember that first year of collecting certain third-party brands, and they held up like fucking peanut brittle, right? But they still did like good customer service, like they replaced figures and whatnot. But it matters. Getting that mix matters. Changing a formula matters. And so if that Spider-Man figure is that good to the point where they have to double the price of a Secret Wars figure or anything else, then we'll see. But that's what it takes.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, well, we got Daredevil Born Again. We're getting hit with trailers on that, but we got Fantastic Four, which Bobby mentioned earlier. There's a big Super Bowl spot. Yeah, there could be a lot of stuff with that too. And Dan always goes on Twitter and goes, "We're not getting any MCU stuff." So just to give they didn't say it this time, and Dan is probably not on it because he's, like I said, he's on paternity leave. So maybe it's an MCU episode that we're getting, and maybe we'll get in Daredevil. And there's Fantastic Four leaks, but I think those were fan made, right? The Johnny Storm that looks horrible.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's fan made. Yeah,
I think someone took like a NECA.
They were.
So what?
Those Fantastic Fours, they were custom
handmade.
Okay, good.
Because you can get like a Stranger Things. Yep. You can get like a Stranger Things action figure of Joseph Quinn from that Hellfire Club.
That's what it was.
Yeah, so you can get that, and you can make a Joseph Quinn Human Torch if you wanted to.
Call. Yeah, and then this is just think about Andrew Garfield, right, for Spider-Man and how long that took, and they had to use Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. That's the answer to this. Is more than, even if it's the movie and it's Marvel and it's getting all the paperwork involved and actors' likenesses. It's not a matter of owning it. So there's agents and there's all kind of managers. There's all kind of things that go into that, and that's why we got Mark Ruffalo's face or whatever it was instead of Harrison. I would have picked it up. I mean, it's just the same buck as normal, but I would have got it. I didn't. So probably
I think there's a 3D printer or like a custom designer out there that did some Harrison Ford inspired heads, and they look pretty awesome.
Yeah, they look good. Yeah, so you wait for it on clearance. If it ever hits clearance, and then you buy the custom head, and then you're paying your normal price, right? I mean, those are the games that we have to play.
Yeah, you got to pay Tony to paint it up for you, and you're good to go.
Speaking of high prices, scalping, how much are these going to cost? These GIJoe Hot Wheels. KJ, you're a Hot Wheels guy. I'm gonna go to you, man.
Yeah. So I have this is from Top Gun Maverick, and this is a GIJoe premium one. They should be $649, man. Don't play games. We'll buy this shit if you just play ball. Target had a sale recently where their Hot Wheels premiums were only $4 or $5. Their Star Wars starships, which are usually like $14.99 or something like that, they were like $7, $6. So yeah, we'll get there, man. I do this shit too, man. You guys are always surprised when I pull this shit out. What do you think I'd be doing all day, man?
I know you do that.
He's first in line at Target, elbowing everybody out of the way to get to the Hot Wheels section.
Pretty much.
Fucking up kids and shit.
Bobby? On the way to work, you're not stopping by Walmart at 6 a.m. and waiting in line for Hot Wheels or what?
I do that.
These motherfuckers met.
Yeah, I do this like every morning. I still go to Walmart. I still go to Target every now and then, and I'm there in the morning grabbing shit. Like I was able to get my dad a Optimus Prime Hot Wheels doing that, like, so it just depends.
Right here. Yeah.
Well, and I'm still looking for that Ultra Madness. I missed out on that. They were here in LA, but they have the same UPC across like all the different brands. So a wave of Hot Wheels track fleet, there'll be 6 of them, but they all have the same UPC. They have the same barcode. So even if they have like 6, like you got to run and try to get the Ultra Magnus. I got my first one from BBTS for $10. So if Ultra Magnus shows up on Entertainment Earth or BBTS, I'll just get that. If the same things here, but Hot Wheels GIJoe, I'll do that too. Sky Striker, Jada Toys, they do nano vehicles. So they had his tank, the Desert Vamp, they had the Snowcat. You can probably still get that 3-pack for like $5 or $6, and they're fun. It's like you can have the figures like play with Joe vehicles. I love that stuff.
Got you, Bobby. Does this interest you at all? Are you gonna grab GI Joe Hot Wheels or what?
So I'm trying to as you know the beehive's growing, so I try to stay away from things that aren't still in my my 1/12 realm. But it's one of those things. If I see it, I'm definitely picking it up.
It's so small. And you know what's great about this? We're so used to paying for figures that are $50
Yeah.
that if you miss on this and it is being scalped, it's like $20, which is like nothing to us. If like you miss out on paying $6 because we're so used to paying through the roof for our action figures, I think.
But this is one of those things, like, to me, it's just I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna mess with it for 5 minutes, and then it's gonna sit in front of my TV with, speaking of mini mates, my G.I. Joe mini mates, my Jada toys, his tank, Stinger, my vamp. Like they just collect dust. I dust them every couple weeks, and that's the end of it. So it's one of those things. I'm not gonna go every day to Target at early morning, or
no,
well, I don't do that. I haven't done that. I actually became friends with the Target employee because I was there so like every morning. And
here,
I just hit him up like, hey man, here's the DPCI, or hey, here's the whatever the code is. And he's like, oh, come the 6th, or hey, I work the 7th. It's getting here on the 6th. I'll pull one for you, or something like that. So just be nice. Boys.
Not this guy again, damn collector.
Yeah, it's too easy. He collects too, so it works out.
Oh.
So he just doesn't collect GI Joe stuff.
Oh, that's
so.
But just wherever you go, be nice. Be nice.
It's too easy.
That's all you gotta do.
Too easy to be nice.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Well, Gun Bunny says that he hopes they see a lot of old Joe vehicles. Are you guys hoping to see a lot of these, or just like maybe just the iconic ones, the HasLab ones, or what?
If they do that for these Hot Wheels, that's kind of no brainer just to scoop them up. Yeah, if they do.
Yeah, but I'm gonna need that Sky Striker to go with my F-14 from Top Gun Maverick. So that's gonna happen.
F-18.
No, this is the F-14 because they hijacked the F-14 at the end of the movie.
You got the one on the right there.
So what
was that, Bobby?
I said spoilers.
Oh, come on. Everyone's seen that movie. But Tony's right. This is the F-18.
That's the F-18. I told you.
Man, shut up.
Here we go.
Don't mess with me. I did a high school science project.
Well, we got to say it's cool that Mattel and Hasbro are playing nice these days, right? So we're getting crossovers between the two companies. So that's pretty cool. So, all right.
I'm hoping we see more, that it's not Mega Constructs anymore. It's Mattel Blocks or whatever they changed their name to overnight.
Mega? The Mega Joes.
No, the Legos, Mattel's version of Legos.
Yeah, Mega.
They're called Mega.
Yeah, I thought they opened some kind of Mattel brick store now, and they got rid of the Mega name.
Oh,
maybe.
I didn't hear about that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I got all the Masters Universe stuff. That's the only Masters Universe stuff I currently own. But I have high hopes for there being more Joe stuff, because the Master stuff's pretty awesome, and the Joe stuff can only be just as good. So,
Tony, what's up? Talk to me.
I'm busting KJ's chops in the chat.
You guys are in the chat. You can talk right here. The free community, free speech.
The F-18 fool.
Well, our guest was talking, so I didn't want to interrupt.
No, for sure.
Because I have manners.
All right, let's highlight your super chats, guys. Let's do it. Here it is. All right, cool. All right, let's move on.
Super
all right,
chats.
what you guys exactly? Give me a nickel. All right, here's the moment you guys have all been waiting for. Right, we're not gonna. And 100 people, please hit the like button, and so I can get rid of this damn banner. Thanks. All right, GIJoe Classified Hasbro Pulse Fanstream delayed. We just tears across the military toy community. What now? And so of course it's going to be from February 18th, which is today, and all the way to March 18th, right? So sad pandas. We are, and we just want to get into the reasons for it. Some are pretty simple reasons, but I thought, why not? Let's talk about Joe. They're not going to do it. Let's do it for them. Bobby, I'll go right to you, man. What is the number one reason you think there was a delay? And we'll go through all the reasons. Some of them are crazy and some of them make sense. But what's the reason you think for this month long wait?
I think there's just been like they mentioned, all those goofy delays back at MCM, I think it was, when they said everything's going to be pushed back to the fall or whatever it was. Then we got all our announcements. I think it has probably something to do with that. And then obviously the whole tariff, not tariff, tariff, not tariff thing. I think there's just a whole combination of things just kind of rolling out.
Right.
I don't think you can just blame it on any one specific thing. And then the Joe team's always running around. They're always doing anything. Like you said, BMAC's been bouncing back and forth between Transformers and Joe and stuff. So I'm sure they just got a lot on their plate, which is unfortunate because I'm sure they could, not to belittle anyone that's at the Hasbro on the team now, but I'm sure they could find people to assist them for a reasonable rate or fare or whatever you want to call it, in the marketing industry, in the, whatever industry, promoting digital promotion, stuff like that. And I think Hasbro's just being pulled in a lot of different directions right now, plus all the stuff they got going on behind line. I mean, none of us work, at least as far as I know, none of us work at corporate Hasbro office. So we don't exactly know what's going on behind the scenes. We can only speculate at this point. So I'm sure you can be like, oh, well, my girlfriend's husband's dad knows this guy who shovels snow at the Hasbro corporate office, who found a piece of paper on the ground from the janitor who took a shit in the third floor urinal. And he said that HasLabs aren't happening this year. So it's like, you can just come up with all this goofy shit. And I mean, 1,000 ways to skin a cat. So who knows in the end? Obviously, Hasbro probably won't say directly at some point. We'll just get, the typical. And I like that they're playing with it, though. Like they're like, oh, Cobra hacked it, keeping it like fun. But obviously no one wanted a delay. So
right. And actually, I'll go to Tony on that one. We got some fun from our buddy Baldy, and he looked into it like he always does, and he has fun with it. He said, look like the Dreadnoks. And I saw what Chris Diagnostic 80, another friend of the channel, Full Force, he was like, oh, don't take it too serious. It could be an intern just trying to be cute. But when you see words like Dreadnoks and whip in a shape, could be, hey, we heard about the Triple T. We saw it in Transformers form, right? And then, there's the description on the left that makes it seem like it's bigger than that. But what's your take on this month off? And do you think it's prepare us for some of these things that weren't ready?
Exactly. That's what I think. Prepare us for some things that ain't ready. And it's just more or less maybe a logistical type thing, like, hey, wait a minute, let's take our time with this. Let's do a month. We'll get all our shit and our ducks in a row, and then we'll go at it. In the meantime, let's play with the fans and, let people pick up on this. We'll throw this out there, that out there. It might not have anything to do with what they're going to show, but just to play with it, because people are already going to look at little hints, and everybody's looking for, stuff like we used to look for on the package art. What's the Easter egg?
We're hungry.
You know what I mean?
We're hungry.
Right. We're hungry for some shit, and they're thriving on it. Like, throw them this at them, while we just got to get all our legal stuff in a row. Who knows? But
right.
But I'm down. Okay, you're gonna. I wanted so bad to watch it on the 18th of February, and hey, we gotta wait a month. That's fine. Just go ahead, get your shit right, and then we'll see you later.
And KJ, how deep should we look into these little descriptions and these little for these posts? Like, are they, should we take them serious? Because we've gotten Easter eggs in the past, and then sometimes they meant diddly dick. So what do you think?
Hell yeah, take them serious. Take them deep. Look as deep as you can get. Deepest, bluest. My hat is like a shark's fin. Look, here's the
balls
thing.
deep.
Balls deep. So we have Cobra HasLabs. We have Joe HasLabs. Could this be a Dreadnought HasLab? Most people are saying that Thunder Machine doesn't have to be a HasLab. You can do this as a $100 vehicle, same as Striker. Striker will probably be $100. That Striker better not cost more than a Vamp. Better not cost more than a Stinger.
It bet not.
It could, but I don't think it will. I think Striker is just going to be another $100. I think when Triple T comes out, Triple T will be $100, because with a 6-inch slaughter, that Triple T is not going to be small. It's going to still take up some room. Probably not as much as a Vamp, but it'll be close. Right. And the same thing with a Thunder Machine, with room for 2 Dreadnoks riding in the front and Dreadnoks in the back, right? So it's you can avoid the HasLab, but it's still going to be big. So I think what's going to happen is this: when you delay it a month, that allows you more time for paint masters, for prototypes. It allows you to show off a complete wave. right? So if we get a full wave of Joe figures, this could be even bigger, because usually a wave of Joe figures is anywhere from 3 figures to 5 figures. So think back to the very first wave in 2020. We had Destro, Duke, Scarlet, Roadblock, Snake Eyes, right? Those were the first 5 in the series. And then. So sometimes we've seen only 4. I think, we had Iron Grenadier and the Iron Grenadier Bat, Alpine and Good Guy Storm Shadow, that sort of thing. So I think what's going to happen is this. We'll either get 1 full wave or we'll get 2 waves. We'll get 2 waves on the fan stream. And that's including sneak peeks at the future and not just render reveals. It'll be the Awe Striker live in living color. It'll be this thing, that thing. It'll be pipeline reveals and more render reveals. So the stuff that we just got the renders of, we'll probably see in hand. And that includes Breaker, that includes the Diver repaints, but that includes Darklawn, and that includes the Snake Armor and all that. So they teased us, GIJoe Day,
do you think
9 render reveals. Almost all of that will be actualized. Oh, go ahead, Bobby. What were you saying?
Yeah, go ahead, Bobby.
Do you think they're going to put up another retro wave, but without us getting Mindbender, Rock and Roll, and whoever the third person is? Do you think they're going to put Flint, and then we're going to have 6 retro figures on pre-order at a time?
Maybe. I mean, there was a time that Classified series was damn near theoretical, where it was just nothing but pre-orders and just waiting for everything to arrive.
Going back to, like you said, the Snake Armor. Maybe they're waiting for an in-hand Snake Armor, and it got delayed somehow. So maybe that's why they delayed the stream. Because I'm sure everyone's going to want it. No one wants to see a render reveal of that. Everyone wants to see them playing with that on camera, holding it up next to an actual figure and everything. So
exactly, we want to know what we're getting our hands on and what we're buying. Right. And I think after a full month, from February 18th to March 18th, we're not just going to see stuff in hand. We're not just going to get pre-orders. I'm betting that stuff's going to be shipping very soon.
It could be it too, because the complaints about the weights, right? So you add a month and it tightens things up a little bit. The next reason is we're getting a lot of comments on it. Toy Fair. So Toy Fair is the first week of March. And then obviously the fan stream is going to be just after that when they get back. And then you're getting a lot of comments. Look, so do you think, well, this Jedi Ben, here you go. Jedi Ben says they're spreading too thin, but then some people say it makes sense. I'll stick with you, KJ, on this. What do you think about Toy Fair New York and that being a reason?
I mean, the Hasbro team, by and large, they know what they're doing. So with Joe's and all the other brands, you need stuff for all these different events, right? And once again, it's the stores that are the primary audience for this stuff. It's the stores that are going to be ordering these figures or these exclusives or whatever. So it's great that there's a fan presence. It's great that fans get to go to these things, but it's always about, playing at the other level of who's really buying this stuff, sell their stores. Yeah.
It's over.
Oh, that's awesome. Got it. Cool. Hey, Winterstar, posting another comment for you. Thanks so much. He says, also remember, if you're enjoying the stream, smash the like button. It helps feed the algorithm, it helps the channel. I appreciate it. Yeah, you got to help I guess we're still considered a small channel since all the big channels keep growing. But anyway, really appreciate that. All right, what else? Last other question, Paul Galliano. He says, do y'all think Hasbro will address the HasLab issue at the live stream? Bobby B.
They might. But then again, they claim transparency, but they're not always transparent. But it's not they're not transparent. They just kind of omit things. And usually they don't. I think we might see a teaser, but since it's in March, and then we probably won't get anything till June, unfortunately. Yeah. But I think we won't know for sure until at least June, when they start either bringing us the dead-on teasers or what. So,
do we think the leaks and rumors from the Weibo, which we're going to talk about next, the It's Chad video, a toy kind of move with our clickbait, but do you think any of these rumors and leaks have anything to do with this whatsoever? Do you think they care enough to push a stream back because we're seeing Crystal Ball and Blowtorch, and we'll talk about those? Do you think? I'll stick with you, Bobby, and then I'm going to cut to Tony after that. But yeah,
I don't know if it's 100% the cause. I know that, like, obviously if you work there, you're probably like, motherfucker, this fucker again, you know, oh, look at that.
Right.
These
Yeah,
shots show up again.
100%. Yep.
definitely.
I follow a bunch of lines and I don't see it as much. I mean, it still happens with every line regardless. But I'm sure that it's probably ticked someone off. I don't think it's ticked someone off and to be like, you know what? F the fans, we're pulling the fan stream. I'm sure there's just something we don't know that happened that obviously like KJ said, maybe they want to show off the snake armor, and obviously they're waiting for the snake armor. Who knows? Maybe it was on a ship got sank, ship got stuck in customs, something like that, you know. So it can't make it from the ports of LA to Rhode Island in the next 3 days or up until today or whatever. So I think there's just, it could be anything. And like I said, if your wife's, you know, boyfriend that's banging the janitor at Hasbro has some information and yet that's what you're spilling. I mean, it is what it is, but I don't think that's the exact cause. It's probably just a combination of things, and that it might be. I mean, if they've kept all this stuff close to the chest, they gave us all the teasers, they do the name drops and stuff. And I know Baldy's mentioned it before, but like, enough with the leaks. I mean, it's great to see the stuff that's coming, but keep some of the magic behind the guessing. You know, let me guess that Barrel, Blackout, and Bomb Striker down the line. Don't just let me keep seeing all these outdated fig characters that I don't know anything about. So
Gotcha. And well, we have to cover the leaks. That's what we're gonna do next. Yeah. But before, I got a perfect comment from our friend Blitz 0065 for Tony, because I feel like this is something that you could, you know, attest to really good. Because look we're waiting, right? We talked about, you're a Marvel fan. This is why I'm going to Marvel Legends, 3 fan streams in a row, right? Spec said 3 months in a row or whatever. It feels like it's less than that, like 6 weeks. I feel like we've gotten. I think during the wait, they could throw us a couple bones. Show us something to keep us engaged. Stop letting the leaks be the way to get the news. A little is good. Tony, just take it away. I feel like this is, you gravitate towards this comment.
Yeah, because when they throw us leaks like that, just like, hey, look, this is how Blowtorch is being made. That sometimes I like those, and sometimes I can, you know, I get what Baldy's saying about let it be a surprise. I'm of two minds. You know what I mean? I don't mind the leaks. Whatever. Well, you already showed us what he's going to look like in the render, so
right.
showing us.
But what I'm saying is the Blitz means a couple bones from Hasbro. Like instead of making us wait, whatever it's been, 3, 4, 5 months between fan streams, give us like a. Remember they used to do it. Hi, Emily here and Lenny. We have just one thing to show you today, and the vamp, or you know what I mean, like just one little 5-minute, 8-minute video. You wake up, it's on Twitter or whatever, and that's it. It doesn't have, and then we get one release, because Marvel 3 fan streams in a row and then nothing for Joe. At least Transformers didn't have fan stream, but they got a HasLab. Star Wars had a little fan stream. It was like quick, but at least they had something. We got nothing. So I think what he's saying is, can we get official news from Hasbro in between? Doesn't have to be a fan stream, but just something. We're getting nothing.
Yeah, well, like an official to say, hey, this is what's going on. Our logistical side is messing up or something like that. Or we saw
just a figure release.
We saw Von Cannon's Jungle Hound, and now we're gonna beef up. We're gonna beef up the All Striker now. We're gonna give you what you want. We're gonna give you bigger tires. We're gonna make sure that that rack comes off the back. We're gonna give you a bigger cannon on top. No, I don't know. It's just so much speculation. I don't even like to do that. It's like, but throw us some bones. That'd be fine. But what kind do you want? You know what I mean? It's gonna be a big old, mess about what kind of leaks do you want. But you're right. I mean, Marvel Legends goes off. They're crazy in what they're doing, and Joe's like, nothing. Wait a month. But there we are waiting.
Yeah,
like idiots.
I mean, I know you guys would, Bobby and KJ, I know you'd like for Hasbro to be more transparent, but if they can't be transparent about, they don't want to acknowledge leaks or third party or whatever, but they could just say, we have a retro card wave coming out, and then it's on, just like Marvel does that every now and then. It's, I think, wasn't Moonstone a figure that wasn't in a fan stream? It just came out, right? Like the Dark Avengers Warbird, like Walgreens.
didn't Wreckage or somebody, didn't they do that with them? They just kind of put them up for pre-order and everyone lost their minds.
But
And then Emily unfortunately had to do damage control. Like, hey, it won't happen again.
Right.
So I could get something like that. But if you're gonna be like, hey, this figure's going up for pre-order Friday, it's gonna be shipping next week, all day. Yeah. If you could get it to me in hand in less than 6 weeks, I'm all for it. I will.
Oh yeah, everybody should be all for it. Yeah.
Look, and specs going off here. All the render reveals weren't throwing us bones, but it's like, okay, they gave us 20 renders, but like in between these renders, we're getting no updates. It'd be nice to get an update. Now, to defend Lenny, they're a small team, right? Like smaller than the Disney team. So the Hasbro GIJoe team, I don't think we understand it's like a 2-man wrecking crew, 3-man now, 3 in men, right? Because we've got Ben and BMAC and Tony and the Emily's doing all the stuff for Hasbro. There's like such a small team. You're asking one man to design everything, and then one person to paint them all, and one person to oversee it, who just his wife had a baby. So it's a small team, and that's all the budget is. There's no media. We talked about that. We don't have to, but we know there's no movies, there's no cartoons, there's nothing that anyone cares about tied in. So there's no other money coming in. There's no Disney train pushing it. And we gotta wait. Gotta wait because it's only a couple people working on the entire line. Right. So I think that's a major problem too. They have to do things timely.
Yeah, and I don't get some of the lists that are out or some of the figures they show us, and then before we ever get them, they're showing us tons more. What happened to Law and Order? I thought he was in the same wave as fucking
Heavy Duty. Yep. Heavy Duty.
Heavy Duty. Yeah.
People, so
he's just gone. I'm like, what the fuck happened to him? You're giving me Breaker. You're giving me the Divers. You're giving me all that shit. What the hell happened to Law and Order? You know what I mean? I mean, that's what screws me up. I'm like, I mean, whatever. So it's kind of wonky with the way they're doing that with all these reveals. Let's show you all this shit, but forget about the ones we showed you a while back and you still haven't got.
And that brings us order. Well, I just want to say sorry. That just brings us to the most likely thing is that they just have more news and stuff to show off in March than February. So instead of giving us 30 minutes in February, if they wait 3 weeks and everything B and KJ talked about, showing the snake armor in hand, you can't show a render and then not have it in hand. That's the next step. Remember, they always follow those steps. It isn't ready. So I think the combination, I don't think the leaks are as much. They probably have a 10% have to do with it, but I think not having the prototypes ready, and then, hey, we got more news if we just wait 3 weeks. Because it's only a 3-man team or 5 people or 10 people. It's a small team. If you give us 3 more weeks, we're going to blow their socks off. And they opted to have 3 weeks. Then you got Toy Fair on top of it. So
they could have blown our socks off if they showed, like Tony was saying, half the stuff we've seen renders for. Toy Bounty Hunter in the chat just said the claw was shown when? October, July? I forgot about the claw until he just mentioned it. So
I forgot it because I got one from Mark II Toys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of good with that one. Yeah. Yep, that's a good point. It's not ready, right? So that's another thing that's probably not ready. So that's why they're ready.
They showed us a long time.
I know it's a small team, right? So that's part of it too. So I got a rumor for you guys from a source, and I'm not making fun of anybody out there in the YouTube world. It's true.
Is it a janitor?
And it Terry Ruin mentioned this earlier on Baldy stream. He's like, damn it, he was on to me. But he didn't go so in depth to know, but I do have from a source that this is likely. And if you look at it, I mean, we got that already, right? We got it. It's a repaint, which means it's very likely. KJ, I'm going to go to you. How do you feel about the Dreadnought Ground Assault? And obviously it's the Ram and the Vamp or Stinger together, or the Stinger, really, together in a pack with Heart Wrencher and Burnout. How you feeling about this set?
Well, really quick, R.I.P. Sears. I used to love getting stuff at Sears, so I miss it. Two, shout out to Gun Bunny, who did an incredible job painting the Vamp and the Ram.
Oh yeah, you think I wasn't ready
Gun Bunny
for it?
rock.
Exactly. I knew, Modi. I knew you're on the.
He always does that shit. Moody's on it.
I don't play around. Gave it a Barbie trim and everything.
Yeah,
Moody
man.
don't fuck around.
But I like if they were going to do this ground assault. I hate to say it, man. I think last year would have been the right time to do it. Strike while the iron's hot. You had Road Pig and we had Naga Hive with Zanzibar. Then keep giving us Dreadnought shit. Like we should have gotten Swamp Skiers. We should have gotten this stuff with different crazy blast effects and all kinds of stuff. Give us some Cold Slither guitars. Something, man. It's like they had to strike while the iron's hot. And the brand is cooling. I think that's the thing that people don't really want to talk about. Yes, Rattler funded. It was their most funded HasLab. And yes, we're waited with bated breath on these. I'm with Bobby B. I don't want to be waiting on two different retro card waves, waiting on a third retro card wave, waiting on this, waiting on that. You know, we're probably not going to get a Cobra Fang and an official classified Skyhawk until 2027 at this rate. Basically, until the suits finally stop acting scared and decide to give it to us.
Yeah.
They have the tooling. They can give us this. The only reason they haven't given us this is either they can't make up their minds if this won't color change the way that the vintage vehicle did, or for all that money in plastic, there's not enough of us that want this for the Dreadnoughts.
You're welcome.
Tony, go ahead. Take it away. You're a custom guy, and obviously talk about Gun Bunny's work because we're acknowledging customizers today on a toy kind of Terradrome over here. But no, not only that, but you're not a big vehicle guy, but you did get the paw, right? Didn't you get that?
Yes.
So would you grab a ground assault?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, the ground assault for the Dreadnoughts? Oh, hell yeah. It's because we don't have anything for them yet. What we have is, what, you want to put the Tiger Paw. I have the Marvel Legends motorcycles with them.
Right, exactly.
We don't have anything for them. And if they do this before they do what's the Desert Vamp?
Swamp Skier? Oh, no, sorry. Go ahead.
What's it called? It's just
what's the
this is Mark II. Mark II's brown.
If we get this before that, I'm all for it. Holy crap. And you better do it really good because Gun Bunny rocked the shit out of this. And with that Rambo motorcycle, or I think that's what it is. Holy crap, hey, they gotta step up because they know what we're doing out here. They got cameras in this bitch right now, I swear.
Right.
But but yeah, man, we don't have anything for them.
Right, and I'm gonna go right to B with this comment because the repaint crap. We know the name of the game, Bobby. Right? You got to get the most out of your tooling to give us new tools, new molding, new whatever sculpts. So I think this is a likely rumor leak, and I can't mention the source, but the source was right about the Ostriker. So that's all I can say. So I mean, what do you think of this set?
I think it's a no-brainer. The Hasbro loves their repaints. I mean, who doesn't? It makes complete sense, going back to their corporation. So clearly they're going to do the stuff that makes the money or saves the money. But I know the Vamp was a huge hit. The Stinger is still available. So I don't know if maybe that's playing in a role of how delayed this thing is or when it's going to come or not, but I don't know why.
Wouldn't this be pulse only though? Since it's remember because it includes both pieces, so it's going to be at a higher price point.
Yeah,
and
I think so.
It's rumored to come with Heart Wrencher, which was already a early leak and rumor, if you remember from the early
like a list
right?
like last year.
So it makes sense.
I'm for it. I'm Burnout's a Spy Troops era figure, so I'm definitely all for that. You guys know that I'm always going to support Spy Troops, regardless how goofy the figure is. And like you're saying, that's a good point. Being it being pulse only due to the fact that it is, the vehicle and the motorcycle. So I'm for it. I think it would do well. It might be one of those made to order things. We're going to go all the way back to the beginning of the episode.
Exactly.
And it definitely has potential, and people will buy it. I mean, everyone's going to want to complete the team. Everyone wants Zartan's daughter? ? Zartan? Yeah. Don't get people upset. They're going to lose their shit in the comments.
Zanya.
Yeah, Zanzibar. Yeah.
Yeah, and so people are going to want to complete the teams. People are going to keep building on their teams and stuff like that. Like I'm not a big Dreadnoks guy, but looking at my classified Dreadnoks from here, they look fan-fucking-tastic altogether. So I don't know who would want to skip out on this shirt. You know, it's purple, it's lime green, and I get it. I prefer the realistic grounded shit, but it's awesome. It looks good. It fits them. It is them. So
this is Stronox. This is
No,
Stronox and
that's
Giles.
Oh, that is
Stronox on the left and Giles Gifford on the right.
Right.
Yes.
There you go. Is that a 6-inch figure on the right?
Yes.
Yes.
Ooh, damn.
He's selling them too. He's selling those figures
selling
now.
He's selling a lot of them on eBay.
Don't tell me that Mrs. B will kick my ass.
Yeah, she will.
Yeah. So we got Heart Wrencher. And like I said, it's a rumor and a leak, but it makes sense. It's not like a bizarre, like some of the stuff we talked about last week on the HasLab show. Some of that stuff I was like,
was that those long lists? All those lists from 4chan?
I got it from a source. That's all I can say. I don't know, man. I can say I didn't get it from 4chan or anything, but
gotcha.
But yeah, how do you feel about Burnout? I'll go to you, KJ. You know, you familiar with this figure? I know you collected a little bit in the modern era too, right?
Yeah. Once speaking with Giles online and like learning about the latter day Dreadnoks and whatnot, definitely got my interest. Giles made one Cobra Sniper that was super dope. Tony, I think you made one too. That dude looks super awesome. But it's always interesting seeing. Yeah, that's the HasLab I want. Make it happen. I want an RC flyable fireback that I can just fly. I want that. No, Burnout looks dope. If I had time on my hands, I would attempt a custom using the Master Mordo from Doctor Strange 2. You know? So yeah, I'm all here for more latter day Dreadnoks. Let's make it happen.
I'm seeing a lot of parts that we can reuse. That's kind of the stuff that we have to pay attention to when there's like leaks. Like some of these characters there's parts they share with other figures in the line. You know, there's not going to be a lot of new. And if they did make, they can make 2 new face sculpts and then just reuse everything else and give us, something else to pay for something.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a rumor that we had. All right, let's get into the leaks that you guys already know about because last week we kind of botched it. We didn't have the stuff up, but here we go. And I'll go to you, Bobby. What do you think of this? Did you ever think this would be Crystal Ball in the background or Budo or one of the night guards or whatever? I'm saying it wrong, but one of the guards.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the royal guards as everybody else.
Royal guards. There you go. Yeah.
But I'm for it. I like I said in the beginning, I hope Crystal Ball isn't just the typical A Real American Hero Crystal Ball. I hope they get into those IDW vibes where he's like that creepy cult leader.
Janitor.
Night Force janitor. There you go.
I have to just say Night Force. Yeah, go ahead.
Banging wives, but I was definitely supportive of the not A Real American Hero version. Definitely the IDW version where he's like that creepy cult leader, and lurking in the background during the Civil War and the Cobra Last Laugh series and stuff. So I'm glad that they spiced it up. And then looking at this, you could definitely tell they took some creative liberties with it, and I'm all for it, bringing in the supernatural kind of stuff. So I'm curious to see if that's finished product or if that's like, they're going to throw some paint on that or what they're going to do. I'm really curious to how it's going to play out.
Cool. Tony, what do you think about this guy? Is this something you would ever customize? It's just so bizarre.
Crystal Ball only on a commission.
All right, it's expensive.
Yeah, because he looks cool. I mean, I see some reused parts here and there. It's pretty cool. I like the classified way they did them up. Are these parts going to glow in the dark? That'd be awesome. Are they going to be more detailed with paint? Probably. We'll see. I mean, Raptor shouldn't have been that badass, but he was killer.
Right. Good call on that.
And this one, hey, you're doing Crystal Ball. There's he's got a lot of fans. I'm not really one of them. Crystal Ball, I think I was out of the line when I was a kid when he came out. I'm like,
same.
Shit. So, but yeah, man, hey, they're making him look good for for a classified version, and I already see some reused parts I'd use for Zanzibar.
Okay. That's a good call right there. And then KJ, good. I got to shout out the God Punk with Toys. He called out that 6-shooter, and snake is wrapped around it. He said he heard from a fan in a comment that you can see a snake coil around it on the barrel,
cool.
and it's right there.
That kind of reminds me of Globulus. He had like his little time stick that had like a worm that would travel around it, and that was his timer, basically. So they could do that for Globulus whenever they get around to a classified Globulus. This gives me visionary vibes, like Visionaries. Like, is anyone else getting like a Visionaries vibe from this? No, just me? Okay.
Don't know Visionaries.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with Visionaries. I'm sorry.
Visionaries, Knights of the Magical Light, they had like holographic staffs and they had like holographic symbols on their armor. It was fun. It was a fun line. But anyway, I have like magic effects from SHF, from like Doctor Strange and whatnot. That would go great with this figure. If you have Mezco, Atticus, I forget his last name or whatever. You have like magic effects. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this. So yeah, I dig it. I never thought I would be digging a crystal ball. I'll be like, okay, go ahead. And I'm like, oh, okay, I might need to get this.
Cool. All right, and then B, what do you think of this design on this item right here, the shield? The like not the shield, but the hypnosis.
I think it looks pretty good. It's one of those things where they're kind of playing back to the original, and I'm all for it. So, and then obviously we got the possibly glow in the dark piece that can go over top of it. So,
very
changing up, but keeping that old school, keeping the real American Hero fans happy, but also modernizing it for the classified fans. So, I think it looks pretty good.
There you go. Someone cares, KJ.
I'm with these old fogies. They don't know shit about Visionaries. That's okay, though.
Nice. Cool. All right, moving on. Next one. And this one just hit. I know Baldy and the gang went over it today, but it's our turn. Tony, talk about Blowtorch.
Blowtorch is cool. That's what I was talking about. Like, hey,
yep,
I don't mind seeing, the unpainted version. Here's how we're making them. Like, oh my God. So, we already saw the render. So hey, here's how we're making them, and here's his Blowtorch up close and personal. Might not be fully painted, here and there, but it's how they're making them. And I don't know if that's Torch's backpack or not. I cannot remember. It looks like, I think he had 3 tanks, but I'm not sure. But his mask looks like Cobra Commander from the movie.
From Rise of Cobra?
Yeah. Yeah, from Rise of Cobra. Yeah.
No, that's a good call.
There we go.
Bobby, what do you think?
I think it looks good. He hits that classic look, and I think the mask is definitely going to play up to being something more modern. I'm curious to see what his face sculpt looks like. And of course, we got to get the pork chop sandwiches. So I kind of hope that there was some kind of different weapon or something along those lines. And I'm very curious to that giant peg in the digital render, but not on the prototype piece over on the side. So,
oh, I see it. Okay, that silver one that's in between the tank and the trigger handle. Yeah,
I'm guessing that's where it looks like there's the peg on the back for where the hose is going to connect. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, but
probably is. Well, there's a factory. It's probably just not done yet or something, right? Or it's just missing. He dropped it from a J Con dropped the peg. So anyway, but yeah, that's it. KJ, clean us up with the Blowtorch here.
Definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be great having Blowtorch versus barbecue. Like, that's going to be fun.
Versus
if you already have, if you already have fire effects from SHF, from Mezco, there's a lot you can do with that. If you have fire effects from Scrap Iron and even the repeats from the Stinger, like, that's going to be a lot of fun with this as well. Blowtorch and like the Legacy Collection firemen looking at him like, dude, why are you setting shit on fire? You're supposed to be helping us out. Like, I'm already imagining like the different photos you can do with this. And of course, someone's going to have to do a third-party pork chop sandwich. So he can be like running towards the kitchen. Oh shit! Everybody out! What the hell? Get out! Yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah, I need that.
Exactly. Right. So, despite having over 100 people watching, that's it. I'm not gonna just shut off like Baldy, but man, it was awesome. We're gonna keep it 2 hours because we're gonna go again on Saturday. But go check out B's Battlegrounds. I'm sure most of you have watched it already, but if not, go check it out. I watched it earlier. Great review as usual, very in depth. So go check it out. Heavy duty. And any parting words, sir? Thanks for hanging out for a couple hours on a Tuesday night with a special Tuesday night.
Thanks for having me. I know that some people seem to believe my channel is a low rent backhanded channel for drama clicks or something along those lines or whatever, but yeah, thanks for having me. So if you guys like military action figures, go check out my channel. If not, I try to pretend I'm a photographer for action figures on the side, so I'll try to post some pictures on Instagram.
Yeah,
and,
I think that's a highly underrated portion of your persona, man. Some of those backyard or pictures, like with all the weather and the different
that's
elements,
where I
are real.
started.
Those are strong. Yeah,
and then I just happened to get that Bat and Alley Viper early, and everyone's like, "You need to do a video on them." I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
and then that just kind of became the shtick, simple to the point.
Yeah.
Military figures. So, but I guess it all worked out in the end. So coming up on 4 years. Well, I'm at like 3 and some change. But
look at Blitz's comment.
Well, before we load up and grab our kits, I do want to ask you: is Heavy Duty? Do you think is a serious contender for a classified figure of the year? I mean, it's way early, but how you feeling?
It's early, but I like them a lot more than I thought I would. The like I said, only minimum gripes I actually have next to me. Only minimum gripes would be he kind of holds this rocket launcher a little wonky. Just the way it's like sized up and everything with him. And this thing is fantastic. It's simple. I haven't tried it on anyone else yet. I keep getting comments about that, so I'll have to throw it on some smaller figures and take some pictures.
Bobby, I know what your gripe is with that figure.
What is it?
The gig line.
Yeah, the military terms hurt some people's feelings, but that's my problem with diaphragm cuts, though, is they're not always straight for me, and it drives me nuts. But I think it's a great figure. I think minus having either a pistol or some kind of secondary weapon to have when he doesn't have the man portable weapon system on, I think otherwise he's a pretty awesome figure. And 2 head sculpts, multiple weapons, different gears, different hands. You're going back to that maximum conversation we had earlier.
Maxim.
And,
is that still a magazine?
I have no idea.
My goodness.
But going back to that, excuse me. Going back to that, I think we got something with GIJoe Deluxe, and hopefully it stays that way and doesn't jump up, because I think the next price point will be 36, and then I think it's 40 from there on. So I'm hoping it stays at 34. Heavy Duty's great. I wouldn't say he's going to hit clearance, but who knows with the way that GIJoe shows up on shelves. So great figure. Definitely recommend.
Well, I appreciate that. Appreciate all the early reviews and hanging out with us twice this year. We've been blessed, and this was a fun conversation, man. Anything else you're looking for? What's up?
You guys got my schedule. It's not always perfect, but
love it. It works for us. Last thing I want to ask you, is there anything you're really looking forward to? We talked about leaks, rumors, fan streams. Are you just looking for, is there one thing from the fan stream on March 18th, in case we don't talk to you till then? Is there something you just really want to see?
I'd probably say something out of the blue. Something, whether it be a random character or a figure no one would have like guessed off the bat, just something different, I guess, would be up in my
well, that could be the 3-week wait where we have the leaks and we have all those renders and news, and it's just like they need to be blown away by this, right?
Yeah,
and it's
and you're looking at
that could be the reason.
When was the last stream we had? Does anyone know off the top of their head? Because I certainly don't.
I'm going to their Hasbro right now. But
my goodness, someone in the chat help us out here, and I'll say hi to our November,
because that's when they showed off the Xandar and Daltone and Leatherneck. So
what up, Figure Fight Club? How's it going, man? Good to see you.
Bobby, So it's been a minute since we've had any kind of news. They need to come out swinging, in my opinion. They need to come out swinging. They need to hit us with some solid pre-orders. I'm not talking like KJ is saying. I don't want just a wave in a retro wave. Well, we're still waiting on a retro wave. I want like a wave, retro wave vehicle, Hasbro exclusive that I'm going to have in hands by GIJoe June. And I get it. There's all this delays and stuff pushing everything back to October, but it is what it is, I guess.
You only got 3 last year? Is that what he's saying? Is that what we got? February, June, and October of 24?
Yeah, basically, if you count PulseCon. PulseCon was the last
September, October, right?
Yeah, September.
So
5 months ago.
We're coming up with what, 6 months?
It's been 6 months. Yeah, September.
So yeah,
on March, it'll be half a year.
Yeah. So they got to come out swinging. They got to bring good. And like you're saying, Travis, it's a small group, but if I worked with GIJoe every day, I'd be posting shit damn near every week. Whether it's like they did today, then they post some clips from the cartoon. Do that stuff. That's something that shows there's someone behind the line that's caring, you know. I'm not saying they don't care, because someone's gonna be like, "Oh, Beast Battlegrounds, so they don't fucking care about GIJoe."
Right. Well, one thing is Weather Dominator and the Great Tonino do post renders, but they've been older, you know, or like behind the scenes things. So they are interacting with the community. It's good stuff. Instagram. Like there was a bunch of those. Tony posted a bunch of renders, but they looked exactly the same as what we had before. Usually he posts the high def ones, but we actually got them high def last time. So I didn't bother putting them on the show because we talked about all those figures to death. You know what I mean? But they are trying to show us what they can. So that's I don't know. It'd be nice if, like, I hope they're watching while they're hanging out at work and doing stuff, but like it'd be great to show us just a render of a figure that's not on a fan stream. Like that's like I get, I don't know if that's your boss, you have to go through this and this and this, but it's like if Tony could just show us let's see, who's a figure we haven't gotten a render of that's a name only.
Ooh,
you know what I mean?
Like Crystal Ball, for example.
Crystal Ball, show us the render. Because we got the factory leak. So Tony, if you can, show us the render. If it's a render, it has to be ready if the factory already has the. So show us the render on your social media. It doesn't have to be a fan stream. I don't know what the rules are at their company, though. He could say, no, I can't. My boss won't allow it. And then that's it. Right. But if they can give us nuggets, that's what we would like, rather than wait 6 months and let everybody ruin it for us. Right.
Well, I mean, how many people are going to drop the line just because they're not getting reveals, they're not sneak peeks, they're not getting teasers or any of this stuff?
None of that shit. I'll wait.
It could be half a year. They know that we're still going to get this stuff. They still know that we're going to get the waves and get the figures and everything else because we're committed. We're building a world here. So I get it. It would be fun to have weekly reveals, monthly reveals, something
monthly at least. Because is there ever been a month where we've not gotten an update from Marvel Legends? No. Almost every week we get an update, right? Some kind of like social media something.
So what Frank Cruz is saying, what FC Viper is saying, that Hasbro doesn't care about GIJoe anymore. They don't have to keep up the hype with this because they don't have licensing fees that they have to earn money back on. And there's just all this content from Marvel, less so Star Wars nowadays, right? There's the Mandalorian movie that's coming out soon.
Right.
And the Skeleton Crew underperformed for whatever reason. Andor season 2 is coming out, but Andor is not the most toyetic.
That's not a toyetic.
You're gonna make like a prison playset, the most depressing playset ever. Like, what are you gonna do, right? So it depends on how strong this March fan stream is going to be. I need to be able to order that R Striker now. Not only placing pre-orders for Flint and CoverGirl and Televiper, but also Mindbender and Rock and Roll and those retro Cobra Vipers need to be here now. If the lines is delayed as they said it was going to be, then delaying this fan stream another month makes sense, because we can't have a fan stream that's just nothing but hype, nothing but pipeline reveals and render reveals. I don't want that fan stream. Give me something.
Give me some plastic.
You know, we're going to start collecting other stuff. We'll still collect classified series, but we're going to collect other stuff.
In the meantime,
Right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cool.
that
I think that's
stream
a
I was
great.
talking with. I'm sorry.
Yep. No, go ahead, Tony.
I was just talking to Spec. He was saying the same thing I was thinking. At least in the fan stream, they better show us Law and Order in plastic form, right there. He should be done if he was supposed to be with Heavy Duty, you know, stuff like that. Show him. I put money on that. I think if you want to ask me, what would I bet on what they'll show in plastic form on the fan stream? Law and Order.
I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet. I'll bet you a nickel.
I'll bet you $1.
All right, guys. I'm out of nickels. I'm out of time. So I'll talk to you guys later. It has been a pleasure, Bobby, as always. And it was awesome getting the Terror Drone back together, right? For a little mini Tuesday night special. Thanks, KJ, Tony, Bobby. KJ, you got something to say? Go ahead.
Shout out to the chat, man. We got 100 likes. Whenever I get 100 likes, man, I'm feeling the love. Thank y'all very much for rocking with us, man. And
thank you, chat.
Terradrome OGs, Bobby B.
They were killing it.
You're always welcome to the Terradrome one of these days, man. We gotta get you some paintbrushes and some Dremel.
I lack the skill and the patience, so I props to you guys, because
No.
Get bashing is as far as I go.
Hey, that counts, man. That counts.
Where I
Man.
started.
Maybe a paint marker. Maybe I'll have a paint marker on some people.
This dude, he cheats. Tony cheats. I use the brushes. I use my brushes. This dude's be using paint markers. Cheater.
Well, they wanted us to be a GIJoe channel, and that's 4 episodes in a row. But I think we need a break. Saturday, we'll talk about Marvel Legends fan stream review. And then Wednesday, hopefully an interview. If not, we'll be back and just make shit up so we can have another GIJoe show. It's what we're going to do. See you guys in the toy aisle, all right? For Trav, Tony, KJ, and my man Bobby B. We'll be back on Saturday evening. Till then.
Peace.
Back in a minute. Shut up.
Travis fucking Moody. Travis fucking Moody. Travis fucking Moody.